All right, here we go.
Do it.
Hello and welcome inside Yost Ice Arena for a presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan hockey. I'm Alex Drain, joined by Nick Hornberg for Michigan against Wisconsin tonight. Michigan, the number 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament, against Wisconsin, number 7 in the Big Ten tournament. That is last place for Wisconsin with 7 teams in the conference. It's a best 2 out of 3 weekend here tonight between Michigan and Wisconsin, and tonight is game number 1. The Wolverines took 3 out of 4 in the regular season from Wisconsin, and both of those played at Yost in early February. Not terribly competitive.
Yeah, Michigan kind of ran away with it. Wisconsin, in both of those games, Michigan kind of collapsed, or Wisconsin completely collapsed defensively. They did land a couple shots on the second night with a couple goals. Eric Portillo didn't have the greatest of nights, but this is an interesting series because it's for a series where two teams are going in completely different directions. Michigan looks to be on track to possibly snag a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Wisconsin being the only program in the Big Ten right now who, beyond or outside of winning the Big Ten tournament over the next 3 weeks, they have no chance of making the NCAA tournament. There's a lot riding on this series for both of these programs, and it starts with the coaches. Brandon Naurato has done a good job this season. This Michigan team is quite good. In his first season as the interim coach, of course, he was named head coach after the shock firing of Mel Pearson right before the season. So he's coaching for his job to possibly get the permanent job. And on the flip side, we could really call this weekend the last stand of Tony Granato. Wisconsin really struggled. Granato, you could really say, is coaching for his job right now.
Yeah, and I think outside of him winning the Big Ten tournament, he's probably a dead man walking with the way this season has gone. And play is underway. The puck quickly goes into the Michigan bench. We'll do a face-off right back at center ice. 5 seconds elapsed. Michigan on the season 20-11-3. Wisconsin 13-21. Face-off from center ice. The second time won back by the Badgers into their own end, and we are off and running. Puck rims around all the way back into the neutral zone. Luke Hughes picks it up, retreats briefly, and passes it across. Hard hit right in front of the Michigan-Wisconsin bench where the pass went in. Badgers got the loose puck, sent it deep. Portillo comes out to play it and has it stolen off his stick from behind by Jack Horbach. Now puck goes up to the point. Rucker McGroarty forces it just past the blue line. Badgers retreat. Both teams go for changes. Behind the Michigan end, Keaton Pearson picks it up.
Well, Eric Portillo exposed a little bit of an early nervy moment, not something you want to see for a goaltender who's given up a couple early goals in bad situations.
Yeah, a little mishandling there. Puck now into the Michigan offensive zone. Diagonal shot goes into the opposite corner. TJ Hughes on the recovery. Trickles to the point. Seamus Casey takes a shot deflected just high and wide by Dylan Duke. Michigan skates out, and the Badgers throw it ahead. Sam Stang into the offensive zone for Wisconsin, picks it up in the corner, filters it around, now low to high, and that's Corson Kuhlman's first-round pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Eventually it gets around, Wisconsin takes a shot, easy save Portillo, Michigan skates it out, Samoskevich up to Duke, now back onto the stick of Samoskevich, who goes in, and he scores, I believe.
I don't think that went in.
The referee is signaling it, and it's a goal. There's the horn.
Okay, there we go. I saw that looked like identical to Saturday night on senior night. A shot got ripped right off the bar, and everybody swore up and down it was a goal, but it wasn't. It was off the bar. I think that'll probably get reviewed. Samoskevich, a gorgeous shot, though. I don't know if that got on the underside of the bar, and they're going to look at this.
They're going to look at it.
I don't. Oh, that's a goal.
It looks like a goal
to me.
That's a goal. Yeah.
That's a goal. You know what what I think he did is, I don't think that hit the bar. I think that may have just hit the underside of the bar as it was coming in. That wasn't a straight bounce off the bar. I think it did hit the roof of the net and hit the back structure before it bounced out.
Yep, and there's the signal.
And there's the good goal. Michigan up 1-0, a minute and a half. They're going to give it to Samoskevich. The assists, Duke and Casey.
Yeah, that was a weird play. I mean, both teams were in changes. Samoskevich skates in 1-on-2, shoots from high out, and he just rips it.
I mean, Samoskevich, there was no intention of scoring a goal there. He just kind of wanted to buy some time so he could get off the ice.
Yep, but he's got such good NHL shooting talent that sometimes you strike gold there. Play resumes, and the puck ends up in the Michigan end. Steve Holtz around to Jay Karanen as it goes up the wall. Not quite out, then Frank Nazar does push it out. Potential 3-on-2 entry here for Michigan. Ciccolini comes in the wing. Centering pass evades the intended target, and the road team wearing red scoops it up and brings it out to the center ice area. Now we get our third line change of the game. Wisconsin holding possession, now turns it over to Keaton Pearson, and Michigan breaks in, but quickly shut off there by Ceulemans. Now the puck rims around behind Nick Granowitz down there in the corner with Marcus Stoppa. This is the third line here for Michigan, as Stoppa, Granowitz, and Moyle banging around below the goal line as you would expect. Wisconsin trying to get it out, but held in there by Moyle. Down low, here's a bad angle shot, and a quick save on Estapa. Now Estapa, a hard cross check into a body from behind, now finally picked up by the Badgers. Skating around with it is Liam Malmquist, but again, they can't quite get it out. These zone exits disrupted at the points, now finally flipped out. Hughes scoops it out of the air, skates around, and right at the Red Berenson rink logo, sends a long stretch pass tipped in to negate the icing, and Nolan Moyle looks like he's in some pain going onto the bench.
Yeah, I don't know if he took a hit to the hand or the puck got him, and that's going to be a penalty.
What do we got here? It's a slash.
Yeah, that's a slash on Adam Fantilli. There was a clash of sticks, so I don't think that's necessarily the wrong call unless I see something on replay here. Let me see. Here we go.
It was Erdahl skating with
that's a slash.
Slash from Fantilli close to the hands, and then he clocked him too, knocked him on his side and into the boards. So Michigan will be shorthanded, and Wisconsin does a lot of their scoring on the power play this season. They're a pretty impotent offense at 5-on-5, but they have a decent power play, so we'll see what they draw up here. For this unit, we've got Cruz Lucius on the left wing. We've got Brock Caulfield in the center. We've got Carson Bannell on the right wing. Matty D. St. Fowl at one point, and Corson Ceulemans as the lone defenseman on the unit. As they set it up, it's D. St. Fowl on the wing and Caulfield on the other wing. They're just passing around, waiting to look at an angle. D. St. Fowl to Ceulemans at that Big Ten logo at the top. Now they go down to the goal line. D. St. Fowl playing catch there with Caulfield. Pass across, tees up Ceulemans. Nice save, Portillo. Sliding laterally left to right there and stops that one. Estapa picks it up for Michigan, shoots it deep, and they'll get a wholesale change.
Well, it's strength on strength here, as one thing, Michigan has been in the box more than just about any other team in the country, and consequence of that is their penalty kill is actually quite strong. As
a shot goes out of play off of Portillo to D. St. Fowl, a wrister from far out.
Like I was saying, Michigan's penalty kill gotten a whole lot of practice this season, especially some of those major penalties they've killed off. This penalty kill unit, as it was last year and the year before that, very strong, going against a Wisconsin team that, as you said, is strong on the power play. This is strength on strength. 16-0
run remaining in the first period. Michigan 1, Wisconsin 0 on an early goal from Maki Samoskevich, but $1:16 remaining in the Wisconsin power play. Defensive zone faceoff, won back there by the Wolverines, Frank Nazar III, and it's quickly shot out. Wisconsin will have to get set back up and try to gain possession, get their unit rolling. Ceulemans skates through the center ice area to Battle, lays it back for D. St. Fowl, pass across. They just do get it inside the line for a moment, and then it ricochets off Ethan Edwards and into the Michigan bench. We'll have a whistle, and the face-off will be just in front of the Michigan blue line. 55 remaining in the power play.
Well, it's interesting. Frank Nazar is the center on the Michigan's second penalty kill unit, which is really saying something, because Frank Nazar missed most of the season with an injury, and when you've got that long a layoff, it's been said many times, your skills don't go away, but your conditioning does. And penalty kill is a very demanding role that involves a lot of ice time. So the fact that Frank Nazar is able to come back and be on the penalty kill is a testament to the work he did while he was out injured.
Wisconsin gets possession and shoots it in. Luke Hughes retrieves, but he'll quickly go diagonal and all the way out down the ice and played in front of the net. Kyle McClellan, who is an interesting storyline. He didn't play a lot this season for Wisconsin. It was mostly Jared Moe, but McClellan had a really tremendous performance in Happy Valley last week, upsetting Penn State. He gets the start tonight. Wisconsin's power play entry turned away at the line again by Hughes. Sent down, they'll have 15 seconds, maybe one more rush to try and get set up, but really nothing happened, and here for the Badgers. Can't pierce through that Michigan neutral zone forecheck. Now puck goes into the corner. They'll try to get it set up. Seamus Casey, though, battling hard with Jack Gorniak along the wall. Pushed to the point, and then it rolls through the legs of Ben Dexheimer, and Michigan is back to full strength. Fantilli onto the ice, killed it off, still 1-0. 14:40 remaining in the first period.
Michigan taking a page from their bitter rivals to the south. Ohio State's penalty kill, consistently one of the best in college hockey, is contingent on neutral zone forechecking. Michigan is usually content to let the other team get into the zone and then not let them break them down. That was a very aggressive penalty kill.
Here comes Owen Lindmark slashing in on the rush, and a good save there by Portillo. Lindmark, the senior centerman from Naperville, Illinois, and a draft pick of the Florida Panthers. Only 4 goals this season, but showed a good bit of speed there on the entry, kind of cutting around the Michigan defense and getting a shoulder in on Portillo, but couldn't tuck it home as Portillo stands tall.
That's a good early chance that Owen Lindmark creates for himself, but another equally good early save from Eric Portillo. Had his fair share of rough nights throughout the season, but not much better than getting a grade A chance early in the season, early in the game, and making the save.
Face-off in Michigan end, won back by Wisconsin, but the shot from the point knocked down, and the Wolverines will break out with possession. TJ Hughes has it on the left wing side as they enter the zone. Down around behind the net, Dylan Duke wins possession there from Daniel Latch, but Latch gets back to it, makes the quick first outlet pass, and Wisconsin is out of the zone. Now they come down the wing, and they've got a man streaking in all alone towards the net, but the pass floated up over top of him, and he couldn't corral it in tight. Now in the corner there, Wisconsin trying to get set up all the way to the point there where Zach Erdahl stands. Vorlicki rims it around far side. Wisconsin really being kept to the perimeter once they get in the zone. Vorlicki, a shot from the right point, easily punched out by Portillo with the blocker. And now the breakout pass for Dylan Duke, too hot to handle. Here comes Sam Stang down the wall. He's going to try to center it, and it just goes under the stick of Jack Gorniak. That was a good look. So far for Wisconsin, really the only opportunities we've seen have been off the rush like that.
Yeah, Wisconsin not really doing a good job getting set in the zone. Michigan's defense has proven equal, but on the rush, they are a little bit dangerous, and I think if you're Brandon Narado.
Oh, there's a loose puck in front. Sam Stang, a chance, and he scores! A shot came in from the point. Stang won possession of it. Portillo was down and exposed. Stang drew it to the backhand and then flipped it in off the inside of the post, and it's 1-1.
Well, one of the most perplexing things about Eric Portillo's season, after being one of the best goalies in the country last year, was where did his rebound control go? Because that's another one that gets in. I do think it gets him, but he didn't secure it. It wasn't an easy one because he had a bunch of guys in his face, but that's another one where you expect your goalie, especially one of Portillo's pedigree and draft position, to really secure that.
I'm not sure if he had a good sense of where the rebound was because he was a little late to get up out of his butterfly, and that was the issue. The net exposed there, and there's room for Wisconsin to put it in. Shots now 7-2 in favor of the Badgers. Obviously the power play helps, but they've got a little bit of jump right now as the puck goes into the stands, and it splits a row of 7 people over there. 3 on one side of it, 4 on the other, but no one got hit, it looks like.
One of those spectators down there was on their phone and owes their life to the person next to them because they were on their phone. They didn't see it. They got yanked out of the way. They got the warning. That could have been. I've seen what happens when somebody not paying attention gets hit with a puck. It is not pretty.
Action restarts. Wisconsin going to try and enter the zone here, but Jake Karanen, good defensive stick, just knocks it off from the Badgers. Vorlicki gets possession back up and does the dump in. Puck battle down below the boards. We got Holtz and Karanen, a veteran pair defensively out there for Michigan, battling away with the Badgers. Now along the wall, Vorlicki gets hit from behind by Holtz. He's going to get hit with a boarding call right there. You know, wasn't a big one, but delayed penalty. Here we go. D. St. Foul pass across. Centering pass. Vorlicki still got it to the top of the house, and D. St. Foul rings it off the bar. They've still got possession, though. Michigan is chasing here. D. St. Foul backhand pass down the wall. Vorlicki to the slot.
Wisconsin's got 6 guys.
6 on 5. They're trying to tee up Stang at the top, but Michigan's walling that off well. He shoots, and I think it's deflected in front. I think that's D. St. Foul who got a stick on it, but it's 2-1 Wisconsin.
So this is a big deal. This is one of the few noteworthy rules differences from college hockey to professional hockey. When you score a goal on a delayed penalty, the power play still
happens. Yes. So Steve Holtz is going to the box.
Yep, and Holtz will go to the box. Wisconsin will get a power play with the lead, and they called that a cross check. I'm with you. I think that was a board. Got away with that one a little bit, but again, that's one. Michigan kind of got away with one because D. St. Phal rang that one off the bar, and now Wisconsin's got a really good opportunity to go 2 goals up.
This is a big moment in this game. 11:40 remaining in the first period. Now 2-1 Badgers, and they have their second power play of the first period. Didn't get a lot of looks on that first one. We'll see how they do here. They win the face-off back, now have to get their zone entry set up, battle down the wall. Watched by Keaton Pearson, applying soft checks to his back. Now to Ceulemans at the point. Skates left to right, shot through traffic. Portillo didn't pick that one up, but it goes high over top of the net. Ricochets down for the Badgers to get possession. Brock Caulfield down below the goal line, looking for a pass. Just goes up the wall to D. St. Phal. He skates in tight, takes a bad angle shot. Portillo stands it down. Michigan's clearing attempt, hold in at the line by Ceulemans. Now far side, trying to go down low to the goal line. Badgers have 2 down there, but weren't able to get possession of it, but held in. Now here's a chance for Wisconsin in tight, and it goes through the crease. They are really moving that puck around well. Michigan not taking away any passing lanes in zones at the moment. Now Battle's got possession of it. He's going to try to find his man, gets yanked down. That's a call you're not going to get if you're on the power play, but at even strength you might. Michigan gets a little lucky there.
I'll wait for a stoppage, but that is a phenomenal heads-up reactive play by Keaton Pearson there to prevent the 3rd goal.
Wisconsin comes into the zone. Fantilli takes it away and then backhands it out of the zone. 40 seconds remaining in the man advantage. 10:20 to go here in period number 1. Shots now 9-2 in favor of the Badgers. Michigan scored very early in this game on a Samoskevich wrist shot, and since then Wisconsin's really playing with purpose and life. Malmquist enters the zone, over to Gorniak. Now he chips it deep for Malmquist. Edwards battling with Karanen. Edwards gets possession of it, rattles it off the wall. Trying to get it up is Brindley, but not out, held in there along the boards. Strammel over to Ben Dexheimer. Down into the circle. Now into the slot for Strammel. Back to the point. Here's Dexheimer down low, trying to make the back pass. No look backhand pass across. No one there for it. Michigan back to full strength, and here's a shot that deflects off a skate and out of play. And with 9:35 remaining in the first period, Michigan is off the hook from that power play, but they're down 2-1, and we hit the commercial timeout.
Well, if you had money on the worst offense in the Big Ten, but one of the best at even strength and one of the best on the power play, going 0 for 2 on the power play, but scoring 2 goals at even strength in the first 10 minutes of the game, go collect your winnings. But I alluded to it. I want to go back. The best chance Wisconsin had, when I think it was D. St. Phal, corralled it, looked like he was going to get bodied off the puck, but threw it right down to Portillo's left, and there's a Wisconsin player right there. He's one-on-one by himself with Portillo. That is a goal in a lot of cases. The reason why it wasn't, especially Eric Portillo, again, hasn't been super confident in holding his position so far this season. Keaton Pearson, Michigan's veteran defenseman who was honored at Senior Day last week, did a phenomenal job standing on the open side of the crease, preventing the pass across that would have been an A-plus chance. Eric Portillo's able to only worry about half the net because Keaton Pearson's got the backside, and Portillo able to hold his nerve, and that is phenomenal discipline by Keaton Pearson. He did not move. He didn't even shuffle his skates. That is phenomenal discipline by Keaton Pearson that prevented a goal.
Quick score check around the country. Big Ten tournament getting started tonight. Michigan State and Notre Dame in really a loser-goes-home situation for 2 bubble teams. Game 1, no score, 5 minutes in that one. And Ohio State against Penn State in Columbus, 1-0 Buckeyes, about halfway through the first in that one. We'll keep you posted on those. At the moment, it looks like the Big Ten's got 4 teams that are going to make the tournament for sure. Minnesota, Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State. And then that matchup I mentioned, Michigan State, Notre Dame, 2 teams right on the bubble. Notre Dame a little bit higher, but this is MSU's last chance to try and end their tournament drought.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting because I think going into this game, the only team in the Big Ten that doesn't have a chance without winning the Big Ten tournament of getting into the NCAA tournament is Wisconsin.
Yep, they've got the most to play for. Puck goes down below the Michigan goal line as we're back to the action. Wolverines get possession, skate out with it down the wings. Samoskevich comes in. Lost it for a second. Now around to Dylan Duke. Backhands it up to the point to Ethan Edwards. Edwards, little shimmy down the wall. Now back to Edwards into the slot. Samoskevich backhand shot. Deflects off a Wisconsin body and out, and here comes Erdahl the other direction. Had it for a moment as his teammates are changing, then lost possession of it. Wolverines get to it, but some tired bodies out there. Duke and Samoskevich need to get off, as does TJ Hughes. They all go for the change as Wisconsin enters the zone. They chip it deep. Luke Hughes gets to it for a moment, but then he fell down on one knee and his pass intercepted. Badgers have possession. Skating around, taking a shot there that deflects high and out of play is the alternate captain, Jack Gorniak.
Well, that was, I don't know if that was a shot or the follow-through, but Eric Ciccolini's stick snapped in half. But going back to Wisconsin, this is a team, as bad as they have been this season, this is a team that can still land punches because it, obscured in the 13-21 regular season record is the ghastly conference record of 6-18, a consequence of how strong Big Ten has been. But down the stretch, Wisconsin picked up some good wins on Saturday nights against Michigan State and Penn State, good teams that showed Wisconsin still has fight in them.
And are we going to get another penalty off the face-off? Looks like
it's going to be a trip, but high stick.
It's a high
Actually,
stick,
okay,
it's Fantilli again. Trying to see the number of who he took down there.
I think that was
13, Jack Horbach.
Yeah, Horbach.
Yep.
Dang
yeah,
it.
he definitely was a big flail there from Horbach as he hit up high. And if you're a referee, you see that, and unless you really saw what happened, sometimes it's a little reflexive. Michigan back to the kill. Third power play of the period for Wisconsin. They have a 2-1 advantage, and neither goal was on the power play. This is another chance for them to really put themselves in good position. Badgers break out of their own end into the offensive zone. Battle back pass just held in by Ceulemans. I think it was still on the blue line. Play is onside. Pass diagonally to the opposite point. Cruz Lucius over to Matty D. St. Foul. Skates down towards the left circle. Draws it to the forehand. Spinorama back to Ceulemans at the point. Ceulemans' shot deflects off the shin guard of Nolan Moyle up and off the netting, and will do a face-off. 1:26 remaining in the power play. 8:07 to go in period number one.
Well, over the last several years, I've watched a lot of Michigan penalty kills, and one of the ways that it really has improved over the last couple seasons is how much more active they are blocking shots. Nolan Moyle getting in front of that one. That doesn't happen 3 or 4 years ago.
Face-off to the left of Eric Portillo. Badgers won it back. They've won a lot of face-offs here in this first period. Across to Ceulemans. Takes the shot. That one just wide. D. St. Foul picks it up in the right circle. To the point, Cruz Lucius. Right at the Red Berenson rink logo. Far side. Shot there by Brock Caulfield. Portillo gets across and makes the big save. And Michigan will clear. 4 fresh bodies out there. Halfway home here on the third penalty kill of the first period. 2-1 Wisconsin. 7:42 remaining in the opening period of action. Dylan Duke dangerously close to a slash on the hands there, but Michigan gets possession and they chip it down. Another quick little change, at least of the forwards. Gavin Brindley and Nick Granowitz now out there for the Wolverines. Luke Hughes and Jay Karen in the defensemen. Second unit for Wisconsin chips it deep. Gorniak there puts it into the corner. Dexheimer and Hughes gets to it up towards Brindley. Oh, he might have had a short-handed chance if he could get past the man at the point, but good job to break that one up. Tyson Jugnath, but Michigan will shoot it down the other way. 20 seconds remaining, and then Fantilli will be out of the box.
Now, I believe the last time Wisconsin played Michigan, Wisconsin actually did give up a short-handed goal against Michigan. They're a lot more disciplined this time around. It also helps that they're winning every face-off.
Edwards shoots that one down right off another disrupted entry. Michigan has done very well in the neutral zone on the penalty kill so far, but they need to ideally not be on so many penalty kills. Here they come. Fantilli out of the box, but Wisconsin has possession entering the zone. Down behind the net, great poke check there by Ethan Edwards. Wins possession, up the wall to Fantilli. Diagonal breakout pass for Nolan Moyle, and it squibs down the ice, but Moyle's just not fast enough to get there. Retreating well is Zach Erdahl to cut it off before a potential breakaway as Moyle was streaking in. Now Badger counterattack into the offensive zone for Wisconsin. Nice little move by Jack Horbach. Across for Lemaster. Shot deflects off of Rutger McGroarty's stick blade. Now on the side of the net, Portillo trying to put the trapper down on it as a couple bodies were whacking away. He didn't end up getting the trapper down, but Michigan gets to it and chips it down the length of the ice. across the center line as Rutger McGroarty heads off. Wisconsin waits to get set up out of their own zone. Michigan offensive zone forecheck arrives. A little bit of a hassle there for the Badgers, but they do get it out. Dominic Mersch trying to enter the zone. Poke check by Steve Holtz. Now, Michigan's neutral zone possession didn't go too well there, passing it around and now back into their own end. And now Samoskevich trying to break out, has it taken off his stick by Vorlicki. He's trying to skate around Karanen, then gets wedged up along the boards by Steve Holtz. Vorlicki wheels around, reverses down behind the net. Liam Malmquist there, now up the wall. Dominic Mersch back towards Malmquist. This has been the story of the period. Michigan just really chasing. They're one step behind Wisconsin. They get possession now, potential 3-on-2. Samoskevich brings it in. He's going to try to cut around Stang. Samoskevich in, short side, but McClellan holds the post well. 5 minutes remaining here in the first period. Wisconsin 2, Michigan 1.
Yeah, Wisconsin really has Michigan pinned in.
Luke Hughes has fallen a couple times so far in this game. He fell down there, but managed to keep possession of it ever so slightly on his knees and then ladled it ahead. Now here comes the Wolverines again. Ciccolini was going to go into the zone, relented. His teammates went in, so everyone had to get back on side. Now Hughes up the boards, and again, just a little bit off right now. The passing in the neutral zone, not quite there, and here come the Badgers one more time. Stramel into the zone, turned away. Luke Hughes trying to get Nazar to break out. He goes around to check. Here comes Nazar down the left wing, got a little bit of space. Help comes, though, from the Badger defense. Now side of the net, and McClellan gets the trapper down on it for a whistle. 4:18 remaining in period one.
Yeah, so far Wisconsin has won 9 of the 14 face-offs, and that's one of the indications. Michigan altogether in the second half very strong, but the last 2 weeks getting swept by Ohio State, although granted one of them was in a shootout, and then losing shootout and overtime to Notre Dame. There was one indication that this team might be running out of gas. They got absolutely murdered in the face-off circle against Ohio State, and so far Wisconsin's doing the same thing.
Casey gets possession as Fantilli wins the offensive zone draw. Michigan trying to get set up. McGroarty in one circle to Casey in the other. Puts a shot in on net. Fantilli posting up in front. Now Brindley gets the rebound, tries to jam it in on the side. Loose puck there, and Rutger McGroarty took a shot, but a hand pass as the puck had jumped up just ever so slightly, played down with the glove before it landed on Rutger's stick. McClellan made the save anyway, though.
That's really the first time that Michigan's got into the offensive looks they've wanted so far in this period. Michigan works best when they're moving the puck laterally across the goalie from circle to circle, as they did between Casey and McGroarty there. That's the first time they've gotten that, and there's 4 minutes left in the period.
So the faceoff comes outside the Wisconsin end, as Michigan is the one committing the hand pass there. So Nick Granowitz will do the draw right side of the ice, going up against Owen Lindmark, and Wisconsin wins that one back, but they win it into their own zone, and Michigan pounces. Here comes Nolan Moyle, rolling around the net, but couldn't wrap it around the far side. Now the Badgers come out the other direction, trying to feed a pass through. Good defensive stick there by Steve Holtz to cut that off. Nick Granowitz picks it up in the neutral zone, and then a pass intercepted by Charlie Stramel. Badgers just have their legs on them tonight. They are flying, but that dump in for D. St. Foul didn't connect with him, and he was just across the wrong side of center, so it's an icing. Michigan gets a bit of a reprieve here as the faceoff will go all the way down in the Wisconsin end. We haven't had too many faceoffs on this end of the ice.
No, really, Michigan's been pinned in this entire period.
McGroarty to do the draw.
Brindley.
Brindley. McGroarty on the left and Fantilli on the right. Brindley gets possession for a moment, then it goes into the corner. They're banging around. Hard pinch comes down the wall, holding Wisconsin in for the moment, but they've got room to try and get out with it, and they do feather it just across the blue line. Luke Hughes intercepted, but his pass knocked aside. Michigan trying to get set up, as Wisconsin was happy to get their bodies off once they got it across the blue line. Now in comes Fantilli again. Fantilli takes a shot, and a good save there from McClellan. Is that going to be shot number 4? Yep.
Yeah, like I said, Wisconsin leading the shots 10-4. And Fantilli finally gets one right on his off wing, and Fantilli's got a good wrist shot, so that is a goal he has scored plenty of this season, but McClellan equal to that one.
It'll be the second line out there for Michigan. TJ Hughes with Samoskevich on one wing and Dylan Duke on the other. They win that face-off. Here's a shot through traffic. Keaton Pearson, rebound chance. Oh, boy. And I think that was Samoskevich who ripped it off the blocker. and Wisconsin chips it down the length of the ice. It's not going to go far enough for icing. Keaton Pearson to it, and a pass for Samoskevich he wasn't expecting, turned over, shot through traffic. It's loose in front of the net, and Luke Hughes gets to it, but then skates right into Wisconsin traffic and turns it over. Badgers get the cycle set up. Shot by Caulfield, deflects off a stick, down behind the net. Keaton Pearson up to TJ Hughes, and Michigan going to try to skate out with it. Gorniak hounds him, though, and boy, that was a really dangerous sequence for Michigan.
Yeah.
Turnover from Pearson gets it going. Another turnover from Hughes after a scramble in front of the net. Quick change, Jackson Hallam out there. Pass for Ethan Edwards, turned over, and here comes the Badgers' counterattack. They've been real good on the regroup tonight. Puck comes in behind the Michigan end. Wisconsin to it, and Michigan again is in zone defense, kind of on their heels. Badgers almost went offsides there, but nope, they keep it going. Pass all the way around to the other point. Jugnos shot deflects off Eric Ciccolini's stick. Now on the boards, a shot by Frank Nazar goes. Into Nazar from a Wisconsin player, and Michigan takes possession of it. Badgers decide to relent. Ethan Edwards in his own end. Pass off the boards, and he was in his own zone, but they wave off the potential icing. Michigan goes in on the retrieval. Nick Granowitz to it. Trying to hold that one in, but Wisconsin right back to it. Good play there by Jake Kiernan to cut off the vertical pass. That's kind of what Wisconsin's been doing. They're trying to get those long stretch passes through the center ice area, see if they can get a 2-on-2 entering the zone and then really get going. Now here's a turnover, but they're going to call a slash on that one, and the first penalty of the game on the Badgers with 1:13 remaining in the first.
I don't know. I think that might be a little bit of a soft slash.
I kind of thought so too.
We'll have to see the replay, see how close into the hands that is.
Cruz Lucius headed to the box. It looked just kind of like a stick lift or a poke check there as he was on the forecheck. Yeah, he did get the stick.
Yeah, he does get the stick. You know what? If Wisconsin hadn't already had 3 penalties and Michigan had 0, I don't think they would have called that.
Yeah, they might have let it go in that circumstance. Michigan gets set up. Samoskevich shot wide of the net. Whoa! Almost tucked in on the rebound by Rutger McGorty. Down behind the net, but his pass up the boards for Samoskevich wasn't there, and it goes down the length of the ice. Final minute of play. There will be carryover unless the Wolverines can score in the next 60 seconds. Brindley with the drop pass, and here comes Fantilli skating through the middle. Gets hacked a little bit. Stumbled, but maintained possession and maintained his balance to skate into the offensive zone, and they get it set up. Luke Hughes at the point. Fantilli right wing. Samoskevich slot, and his shot rips it wide, and it ricochets all the way down the ice. He just fires it so hard that if it goes wide, it rims for a long ways. Samoskevich dump in for Brindley down behind the net. McGorty retrieves in the corner, but then intercepted, and now getting it past the point man Fantilli was Sam Stang.
Michigan's got to go fast. They got one last rush, 15
seconds. One last rush. Here we go. Pass up by Luke Hughes to McGorty, and that is
gone.
Nope. Just not crisp on some of those passes as they move through the center of the ice so far. And now a stretch pass intercepted by Vorlicki. He comes in, but time is going to expire before they can get a shot away, and that will do it for period number 1. If you were expecting a bloodbath on Michigan's side, well, not so far.
Yeah, Wisconsin playing like a team that's playing for the world right now because, well, they kind of are, as they've got a 2-1 lead through one period. They really were the better team. I think that 2-1 stat line honestly might flatter Michigan a little bit. Wisconsin easily the better team most of this period.
Shots were 12-6 in favor of the Badgers, and again, the power play advantage helps. 6 minutes on the power play for Wisconsin versus about 80 seconds for Michigan. But Wisconsin didn't score either goal on the power play.
Yeah, it was really an uncharacteristic period for Wisconsin. They go long stretches of games without having any control. And again, they steal goals on the power play, but at even strength, they really are pinned in. This time it's the opposite. Wisconsin's is the team pending the other team. And again, they split both the last 2 series against teams that are fighting for NCAA tournament berths. So they really, again, like we said, they can land at least a couple punches, and this is something Michigan's going to have to deal with over the last 2 periods. Wisconsin still has some gas left in the tank, and Michigan really played that period like they don't really have any left.
Well, one of the stories for Wisconsin this year has been the home versus road split, where Wisconsin has been able to beat Big Ten teams in Madison. They beat Michigan once. They beat Minnesota once. I believe they beat everyone but maybe Penn State at least once in Madison. It was 6, or maybe it was Michigan State. It was they won. They took one from at least 5 of the 6 opponents. But on the road, it was not until the final road game of the Big Ten season that they won a road game in conference play. That was last weekend against Penn State.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, they got Michigan State at home. Yeah, I think it is Penn State, the team they did not beat at the Kohl Center. But again, this crowd is a lot more subdued than what you'd expect at Yost Ice Arena. Between it's spring break, so the student section's not full. The conditions outside Yost Ice Arena tonight were nothing short of horrendous. Getting here was not easy. So this stadium is a third full.
Yep. This is a different sort of environment than you normally have. And Michigan's going to have to adjust. They're going to have to wake up a little bit. They're going to have to play a little bit crisper.
Yeah, and this Michigan, I mean, to me going into this game, I think if I'm Michigan, I see this as an extreme case of a do-your-job game. Yeah. This is a team that, regular season, the worst team in the Big Ten by a mile, handled this team the last time they played at this exact arena. Just go out there, do your job. But Wisconsin putting up a fight, and like we said, we've got a coach who's coaching for his job. The team is coaching for their season, and this is a veteran Wisconsin team. A lot of guys who've been around a long time. Jack Gorniak, fifth-year player. Brock Caulfield, fifth-year player. Sam Stang, I think, has been around for 4 years. They've got guys who've been around a long time, both their goalies. They're playing for pride, and they're playing to keep playing. So those fifth-year guys, they're never coming back. They're not going to put on that sweater again after this season. They get eliminated this weekend. Their careers are over. So you've got a coach coaching for his job, and his players playing to keep playing to keep wearing the sweater. So you really do have a team that is playing for everything now. And again, this is a team Michigan should be able to just do their job and win this game, but they haven't been doing that so far in one period.
Yeah, well, and the other story here, of course, is the fact that Wisconsin is one of the more talented teams in the Big Ten in terms of NHL potential players playing on the roster. You look at Ohio State, you look at Penn State, Michigan State. Those are teams that really don't have many future NHL guys. Wisconsin's got a couple guys that are pretty highly regarded. Corson Ceulemans was a first-round pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets, and you've got Charlie Stramel, who is a freshman playing college hockey before his draft year, but is expected to be drafted somewhere in roughly the first round of the 2023 NHL draft. So that right there is 2 blue-chip guys. And then they have, some supporting characters. Stang, Lucius, Gorniak, Jugnath are all 4th-round picks. That's not elite, but it's also not nothing. And so they have that ability that if the cohesion comes together, it can be a dangerous team. We saw that a few years back in the COVID season when Wisconsin won the Big Ten regular season, I believe it was the one they won. Is that correct? Yeah, Minnesota won the tournament that year, but Wisconsin was a high seed in the NCAA tournament, and they had guys like Dylan Holloway and Cole Caulfield on that one, and they haven't been able to reach that standard much under Granato, but the potential is there if it comes together. It just hasn't been coming together consistently under Granato or this season at all.
Yeah, and if this season proves to be Tony Granato's final season, I think the epitaph of his tenure will be unfulfilled potential, because that cohesion, it makes Wisconsin fans and really college hockey neutral fans, really anybody watching Wisconsin hockey, tear their hair out. This isn't Tony Granato's most talented team.
Nope.
His most talented was 2019-20. I picked that team to win the Big Ten regular season that year, because they had 2 picks, 2 guys that had just been taken in the lottery, and Alex Turcotte and Cole Caulfield.
Yep.
And then they had Dylan Holloway, who was picked in the lottery the next draft. And that's adding to Linus Weissbach, who was a veteran player who scored a lot, and Keandre Miller, who was a first-round pick of the New York Rangers. And that team, I think that team finished dead last in the Big Ten regular season. And I think both you and I thought Tony Granato might get fired after that one, because that was a season that Wisconsin fans will rue for a long time.
Yeah, I've told some people who are NHL fans that don't follow college hockey about the players that were on that team and saying what their record as a team was. It's unbelievable. But we'll take about a 5-minute break and be back for the second period here shortly. And we're back now for the second period of action. We got about a minute 50 before puck drop. Players about to come back out on the ice. Our score, Wisconsin 2, Michigan 1 in Game 1 of the Big Ten Tournament Quarterfinals here from Yost Ice Arena in Ann Arbor. I'm Alex Strain, joined by Nick Hornberg. That first period, Michigan got on the board very quickly from Mackie Samoskevich, and then things went really in Wisconsin's direction for a while.
Yeah, and even the early minutes were 50-50. Mackie Samoskevich got a goal in the first 90 seconds. It was kind of a fluke goal. Again, he was just trying to throw it at the net to buy time for a line change, and it just got through, which is kind of the story of Wisconsin's season and really Tony Granato's entire tenure. I've argued before Tony Granato might have a lot longer leash at Wisconsin if he could just ever get any degree of competence from the goaltending position. That's what I've noticed about his tenure for a long time is their goalies just haven't gotten it done. But Michigan has an opportunity to snag some momentum because they were the better team the last 3 minutes or so, and they're going to start this period with 47 seconds of power play time. They had a few good chances to end the first period on that power play, but ultimately they kind of fumbled it away. And a thing that they were really good at last season that they're kind of struggling with so far this season, but Wisconsin has been really good at tonight, is on power plays, holding the zone, getting back up on the recycle. Michigan, they had some good chances on that power play to end the period, but a lot of times, like Mackie Samoskevich was taking shots, they were so hard, they'd run all the way back out of the zone, and Michigan couldn't hold the zone. That's one of the subtler and harder to quantify stats in hockey that to determine an effective player is holding the zone when you're on offense, particularly on the power play, because if you hold the zone, the other team can't change. Your guys can get set again, and you can keep going. You can really attack the goaltender. Nick Blankenberg last season, Michigan's captain, was a master at this. That's why he continued to play on the power play, even though there were a lot more talented and more agile players. He was phenomenal at determining where the puck was going to be, and Michigan needs play like that right now on the power play.
Getting ready for puck drop. Teams are on the ice, and the starting 5 for Michigan is out there, as is the starting 4 for the Badgers. Michigan is going to start with their second unit out there. Interesting decision. They had the Fantilli power play unit out there to close the first period, and one of the arguments is always that you want carryover power plays because you can put the first unit right back out there to start the next period, but instead, Brendan Arado is going with the Frank Nazar, TJ Hughes, and Dylan Duke group. They come into the zone with possession. Seamus Casey down the wall, then turned over, and Wisconsin chips it back out. 35 seconds remaining. We'll see if they can get one rush set up, and then you maybe get one look off of that.
Yeah, well, the key is getting set, and they've got 30 seconds, so they can take their time a little bit here, but, you know, I've always argued before on broadcast, the power play does not end until the killing team makes their first line change after they return to full strength.
It is a decent philosophy. Michigan's entry there was turned right over by Wisconsin and chipped down. Now 5 seconds remaining. TJ Hughes checked aggressively by Kerr in the center ice area, and Wisconsin is right back to full strength. Portillo puts the trapper down, and we will have a face-off in the Michigan end.
Well, I dispute the contention that you want carryover power plays because
I generally don't, but that is an argument that you hear in some circles.
You get to go first unit to first unit, but number one, if you're one of the luxury of having as much talent as Michigan has, you don't really have a second power play unit.
That is fair.
You've got 2 first units, and also you've got to completely reset again on a power play. You've got momentum, and just going and sitting for 12 minutes and then coming back and trying to repeat it all over again, not so easy.
Michigan won that defensive zone draw, skated it out, and the dump into the Wisconsin end deflects off a stick and into the netting, out of play. We have another whistle. Choppy first 59 seconds here, 19:01 remaining in the second period. Wisconsin 2 and Michigan 1. Fourth line out there for the Wolverines. Marcus Stappa do this face-off against Charlie Strammel. Referee is haggling the 2 players and then puts it down. Strammel wins it back. Kuhlman's no-look backhand cross-ice pass for his partner Jugnath didn't connect, and then chipped down the ice. No icing. Michigan retrieves. Keaton Pearson first pass is walled off by an aggressive forecheck from Matty D. St. Foul, and then they turn him over. Wisconsin's got possession below the goal line. Cruz Lucius with it, skating around. Centering pass finds D. St. Foul in the slot. Quick release, but Portillo is to it.
And that's a good save by Portillo. It comes in. You'd rather Portillo snatch that puck on the first time, but it hits him. and it bounces up in the air, but right in front of his face. That's a well-controlled rebound that's not going to be that nobody's going to be able to follow up.
18:36 remaining in the second period. Face off to the left of Eric Portillo. It is Fantilli doing it against Brock Caulfield. Puck one back to the point. Dexheimer almost had it stripped, and McGorty does take it away. Potential 2-on-1. Fantilli coming in with Brindley. Brindley in the circle, takes the shot, and he shot it wide, and then the puck goes over the stick of Jake Harrinan at the point and slingshots all the way back into the Michigan end. They get one good rush chance, don't put it on net, and they've had some trouble with that. The shots going wide, ripped so hard, they flutter all the way back to the other end.
Yeah, but Jake Harrinan was in a good position to get that one. He really should be doing better to keep that puck in the zone to create more chances.
Yeah, puck's been a little hot tonight, hopping around. Harrinan left point to right. Shot goes wide. Now Rucker McGorty to it on the wing. McGorty checked off it for a moment, then engaging along the wall with three Badgers. That one is held in by Harrinan for a moment, and then here comes battle the other direction. Down the wing, he knows his team is changing, so he just rags the puck into the corner. Jake Harrinan watching. Skates around, now to the point. Luke Lemaster across to the far side. Point shot goes wide. Steve Holtz boxing out well, but Wisconsin just is really scrappy tonight on the forecheck. These Michigan recoveries in the corners, not easy as the scrum continues. Down in that corner, now picked up by Wisconsin.
Well, Wisconsin's just been beating Michigan to the spot consistently, even there.
Yeah, you see Gavin Brindley gets hit hard. He gets there first, but the force of contact along the boards propels him back a little bit. Michigan now gets a little bit of heat taken off them passing across to each other, but again, that was about 25 seconds it took to get them out of the zone there. Now the Badgers shoot it in. Ethan Edwards after it, rims it around, and that puck deflects back onto Wisconsin's stick. There's a shot through traffic. Portillo barely saw it, but got a piece of it with his left pad. Now in the corner, bouncing off contact is Jack Gorniak, the top line for Wisconsin out there. Gorniak evading two Michigan players. Ethan Edwards there in the corner, as is TJ Hughes. Now Edwards is to it, and right back on him is Gorniak, just harassing him from behind. Wisconsin just has that spark right now on the forecheck, just really grinding Michigan down at the moment, making every exit harder. Wolverines get it up into the offensive zone. Wisconsin tried to clear it out, held in at the line. Samoskevich down the wall, shot for TJ Hughes, rebound on the doorstep, and that one put just wide. Trying to hold it in far side, Samoskevich. Oh, and Ethan Edwards couldn't get to it. Breaking the other way, here comes Wisconsin, skating in, takes a shot, blocks, rebound, put just wide of Portillo. It was Zach Erdahl leading the rush, and he got a little bit of help there from Dominic Mersch around the net, but that one goes wide. Now here comes Samoskevich on the counterattack. He skates in, takes a shot, deflects off the defenseman's stick. End-to-end action right now. Not a lot of whistles in the last few minutes. Badgers into the far corner, and Michigan takes it away. Rush the other direction. Jackson Hallam, the fastest skater on the ice, puts it in the opposite corner for Eric Ciccolini. He rims to Luke Hughes, sliding down the wall. Hughes gets tripped up from behind. No call coming, though, and the Yost Ice Arena crowd is aggravated. Puck chipped down. That could have been a breakaway if they'd hit Cruz Lucius on the stick, but did not. Portillo comes out to play it to take the pressure off. Now here comes Michigan's entry the other way. Jackson Hallam left circle. Waits, tries to find Luke Hughes in the slot. Dangerous pass to the point towards Nick Granowitz. He does parry it back down. Luke Hughes' shot goes off the side of the cage. Charlie Strammel in the corner. Hughes to it. His pass for Hallam, too hot to handle. Moyle fills in at the far side. Michigan still got possession. One of their first cycle possessions in a while where they're really got Wisconsin chasing a little bit. Luke Hughes spin move to the slot. Lost it off his stick, though, and now a potential 2-on-1 the other way. D. St. fouled to it. Backhand pass looking for Lucius, his second potential breakaway opportunity, but it evaded his stick. He'll just head off. He was pretty tired. Both of these units are tired. Jake Harrinan skates across center, shoots it in. McClellan out behind his own net to play it. Now up the wall. Good aggressive pinch there from Steve Holtz to hold it in, but shot it too hard. Now up to the point. Ethan Edwards corrals for the Wolverines. Shoots it down to the next closest winged helmet player. That's Marcus Stoppa. Deflects off some bodies. Back to it is a Stoppa. Shot through traffic. Wide of the cage. Gavin Brindley to it in the corner. Pursued by Sam Stang. Trying to dig it out is Brindley. Battling for with Stang. Now here comes Rutger McGroarty to it. Michigan pinning him in, though. Starting to do a little bit of taste of your own medicine for Wisconsin. Fantilli shot from the point and a glove save by McClellan. And with 13:46 remaining, we have our first whistle in maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, and that's a good stretch of possession for Michigan. Really getting finally some sustained pressure on McClellan's net. Fantilli, again, a decent shot, gets it on target. But, again, Wisconsin's defense still standing strong and making life a lot more difficult for Michigan than they're used to.
Adam Fantilli to do the face-off here to the right of Kyle McClellan against Brock Caulfield, and Wisconsin wins it back. Kuhlman's outlet pass. Good defensive play there by Ethan Edwards. Takes it right off the stick of the forward. Now up to Fantilli. Fantilli trying to drag around the defenseman. Oh, a pass in front. What a creative play there. But Wisconsin had it sniffed out well. They shoot it down the ice. That'll be icing for the Wolverines. Offensive zone draw coming up.
Well, anybody who followed the U.S. Olympic team last February, if anybody was wondering why exactly a not known for his talent Ben Myers, University of Minnesota forward, was asked to play for Team USA, despite the fact there were a lot more talented players who weren't, the answer is face-offs. Wisconsin's sustained pressure in this game and Michigan's inability to generate their own is in large part due to Wisconsin's prowess in the face-off circle tonight.
They want another right there, but they just chip it down for an icing, so we'll do it again. But, yeah, they've really, the face-off number for the game is not lopsided, but they've won a lot of these really important draws. Michigan's won more of them in the neutral zone, but offensive, defensive zone draws have generally been dominated by the Badgers, and it's facilitated cycle pressure and disrupted it both directions. Michigan does win that one. Took them a moment to get possession of it. Samoskevich skates around, takes a shot. Really didn't have much window to shoot there, as Owen Limmark was right there with the stick, and he took a lot of heat off that shot, and it was a pretty easy save for McClellan, but another draw coming in this end of the ice, and more of the play in this period has been played in the Michigan offensive zone.
Yeah, but Wisconsin's defense still holding up. That's excellent one-on-one defense. All these Wisconsin players are winning their battles. Lindmark stuck to Samoskevich like glue. Great work to deflect the stick to prevent the strong shot.
There's a good win for the Badgers. Dominic Mersch wins it back, but then the puck hops off a Badger stick to Samoskevich in the slot, and a deflection by Duke in front, out of play. And then heading right to him to try to rough him up was Anthony Kerr. And the referees quickly break that up before it turns into a Donnybrook.
Yeah, the referees, they haven't really called this game super tight, but so far they've kept a lid on it. And again, this is Michigan-Wisconsin. This is not Michigan versus Michigan State. But largely they've kept this game in control. That's good job by the refs. Get in there, break anything up before their control gets threatened.
Frank Nazar against Brock Caulfield. Caulfield wins that one back. Puck rimmed around, but Stang is able to get it for the Badgers. Shoots it deep. In after it is Keaton Pearson. Michigan gains possession, and they then turn it right over. Wisconsin snags it. They go to the point. Vorlicki on the right side, now across to the left. Kuhlman spins around, tries to find a stick to pass it to, and couldn't quite do so, but then Vorlicki holds it in at the line, and then he gets just hammered there.
Wisconsin bench wants a penalty.
Well, they don't get one on the ice. We'll see if they ever decide to challenge anything. And then going down on the play is Eric Ciccolini. Wisconsin comes the other way. They could have numbers, but they decide to just head off anyway. We'll see about potential challenges on that hit at a later date. It didn't look like much head contact.
Yeah,
just a hard hit.
Yeah, I don't think there was head contact, and you can't challenge minor penalties, so I don't think anything's going to come of that.
Jackson Hallam shoots it in. The Wolverines go on the attack. Ethan Edwards, the offensive defenseman, moves up, and now, oh boy, the door to the locker room just opened behind the Wisconsin net. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Me neither, and
we've been in this building a long time, and it was the puck was rimmed down behind the Wisconsin net where the door is for the teams to go to the locker room, and the door just opened like a trap door.
That would have been quite the visual to see Nolan Moyle falling into the exit ramp. And Nolan Moyle's a big guy even without the helmet and pads. He probably takes out a couple of the ice scrapers who were standing there.
The referees had to blow it dead, so we'll do a face-off to the right of the netminder McClellan. In the corner, the battle ensues after Wisconsin wins it back, and they're just able to get it across the blue line and out. Mersch there along with Liam Malmquist on the forecheck for Wisconsin. Michigan now goes the other direction. Fantilli into the offensive zone. Centering pass for Brindley. Good defensive stick from the Badgers. they've been playing pretty solid defensively here in this period. They've been trailing a little bit, but they're not letting too much get to the slot area. And Michigan pushed more to the perimeter. Luke Hughes does this entry. Here he comes skating in, finds Brindley. Brindley's got McGroarty, didn't shoot it. Now to Keaton Pearson, in some trouble. Goes high to low, down behind the net. Fantilli played it to the slot, no one home. Now pass far side. Luke Hughes goes to rip it, and it deflects right off the stick of Jack Horbach and out of play.
Well, you have to. If you're Wisconsin in this game, Michigan's got more talent, particularly offensively. You have a big challenge to counter that speed, and the way you do it is you have to anticipate plays. You have to know what's coming before it actually comes. And so far, they've been absolutely fantastic in that. Their stick work's been excellent. Their positioning's been excellent. Speed is nullified if the defender already knows where to be and is already there.
11:18 remaining in the second period. 2-1 Wisconsin over Michigan in Game 1 of the Big Ten Tournament Quarterfinals Series. Hit from Steve Holtz. Didn't hold that puck in, and D. St. Phal goes down the wing the other direction. Then stops up, waits for his teammates to arrive. Charlie Strammel to it. Backhand pass for D. St. Phal through his legs, and out comes Michigan the other way. Here's Marcus Stoppa into the offensive zone. Then he slows down. Pass ladled for Nick Granowitz behind the net, and he gets knocked off. Hard contact around the net area. Aggressive pinch there from Steve Holtz. Didn't take it, didn't hold it in.
That's
then
a phenomenal
Wisconsin
recovery.
Plays it out. Yep.
That's phenomenal recovery by Nick Granowitz, though.
Granowitz saved a potential breakaway after the untimely pinch. Now here's Cruz Lucius a chance. His shot blocked off by Marcus Stoppa on his knee. Couple potential opportunities there for Wisconsin, nullified by good recovery defensive plays from the Michigan team. Jake Harrinan skates it up, flips it into the air and down the ice as we approach the halfway point of the period and the game, with the score 2-1 still in favor of the Wisconsin Badgers. Now Dylan Duke behind the net. Duke waits, trying to tee up TJ Hughes at the point. Puck deflected off the back of the cage, ricocheted high into the air and out of the zone. Seamus Casey retreats, picks it up, nice little spin move, and now a long diagonal pass looking for Dylan Duke. Didn't get to him. Wisconsin's got to try to break it out, but then a turnover. Ethan Edwards into the slot. He should have passed it there for the waiting stick of Mackie Samoskevich, but instead he tried to just skate around with it. Now Michigan's got to try to get it set back up. That was as good of a look to get to the slot as they had all night, and didn't take advantage of it. Now here's one. Pass across. Casey shoots and scores! And we are tied with 9:38 to go in period 2. A rip from the freshman defenseman. Well,
Mackie Samoskevich has the best shot on the team. I think Seamus Casey has a case to be the second most. He's scored a decent number of goals just like that, where he gets it in areas and it's just him trying to pick a spot and just rifle it in there. McClellan doesn't see that. It's a tie game. That is fantastic work on Michigan, on the other side by Michigan, to see Casey sling it across to him, and at that point it's just point, aim, fire for Seamus Casey.
Frank Nazar and Owen Lindmark do the draw at that big 100 years of Michigan hockey logo at the center area of Yost Ice Arena. Our score 2-2 Michigan and Wisconsin. Wolverines have been pushing play a lot of the second period, and they finally get rewarded for another shot from high out. But when you have elite NHL caliber shooters, you can solve most all NCAA goaltenders. Puck in the corner. Frank Nazar with it. Diagonal pass looking for Luke Hughes. It skipped through his legs, and Michigan will have to retreat. Wisconsin had it for a moment, then pinballs around in the neutral zone. Casey picks it back up, that's Pearson, and he sheds it deep. Hallam digs in the corner. Luke Hughes snags it at the point, pushes it down low. Wisconsin will try to get their zone exit set up. It's just going to be flipped down the ice, and that'll be an icing on the Badgers. 8:45 remaining in the period.
Well, forget NCAA goaltenders. Some of the shots we've seen this season, and even tonight, like Samaskevich's first goal, which was just under the bar, given adequate screening, some of those shots will beat NHL goaltenders.
Yep. Michigan off the icing goes with Gavin Brindley centering Fantilli and McGroarty. Interesting, they're having Brindley take a lot of these face-offs instead of Fantilli. And he's going up against Dominic Mersch, the team captain for Wisconsin, and Mersch wins that one back. Yet again, really good defensive zone face-off ability for Wisconsin tonight, but their forwards got up too far. Potential 3-on-2. Brindley breaks it, pass across, they score! I don't know what the Wisconsin forwards were doing. They got up the ice way too fast. Puck got turned over, 3-on-2 on the entry, and Adam Fantilli rips that one home from the white wing circle.
Well, they got greedy. They thought they had the break because they had the face-off, and they thought they were going to be able to control it, and Wisconsin's control has been fantastic. With the puck off the face-off wins, that's another thing that presses their advantage in the face-off dot. Not only have they been winning face-offs, they've been controlling after they've won. This time they got greedy. Michigan got them that time, and then there's the rush, and Fantilli's got quite a shot on him too.
Estapa doing the draw with Brock Caulfield at center ice. Sam Stang to it, and just like that, a switch has been flipped, and Michigan holds a 3-2 lead as Yost Ice Arena finishes off Mr. Brightside a cappella. Nolan Moyle with it in the center ice area, picked up by Casey, who scored a goal a moment ago, but now it's not the most recent tally. Now here's a puck flipped in on McClellan. He puts the trapper down on it, and we'll finally have the commercial timeout in the second period.
Well, Michigan stole some momentum now the last 2 minutes. Pair of phenomenal shots from Casey and Fantilli. Phenomenal work by Michigan's forward line. Fantilli, I'm surprised they didn't really give a secondary assist. I thought they could have given one. I couldn't see who that was to. I think that was McGroarty, but Brindley, excellent vision, because Brindley himself, his greatest tool is his shot. And Brindley was in good position. There was a guy in his face, but that's excellent awareness to sling it out to Adam Fantilli, who did have an opening on McClellan.
Yeah, on a one-timer, and Brindley's playing off the threat of his shot to set up that pass before McClellan can get over, because he's got to respect the shooter. Quick look at score updates. Michigan State Notre Dame still tied at 0-0, and Ohio State has seized control of their contest against the Nittany Lions 3-0 over Penn State in the second period. Interesting storyline. I don't know if you've been following this, but the Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks are 12th in pairwise with a legitimate chance at making the NCAA tournament. They play tonight against Lindenwood.
Love it.
Up in Alaska. If they finish the season with a sweep of Lindenwood this weekend and they get just enough help in the conference tournaments, they could make it in.
Well, so 12 in pairwise is usually a safe position. 16, you have no chance. 15, you probably have no chance.
So the big thing for them is that they're not in a conference anymore.
Yeah.
So they'll be sitting at home, and teams can notch wins to kind of move them ahead. That's where a lot of the ambiguity comes in, where they finish, and then from there, auto bids. Back to the action. Wisconsin flips that puck up and down the ice into the corner. Fantilli gets to it, tries to flip it up the wall, tipped there by Rutger McGroarty, and not out of the zone. Luke Hughes retreats, banks off the end boards around to his defense partner, Keaton Pearson. Now up to Rutger McGroarty, and taken off his stick well by Wisconsin. 7:30 exactly remaining here in the second period. Michigan 3-2. Wisconsin led 2-1 coming into the period, and they held that lead for about 6 minutes of this period. Then two quick rapid-fire Michigan goals, and they have the lead back.
Well, compounding Wisconsin's stick work is that Michigan's puck handling really just hasn't been very good. They've lost a lot of chances just because guys have lost the puck, despite being confident stick handlers the entire season. Uncharacteristic, especially for guys like Luke Hughes.
And he turns it over right as you were saying that. Now here's a shot that comes in for the Badgers, tipped around high in the air, and they couldn't tuck it home.
Keaton Pearson there to save the day again.
And Portillo's lost his goal stick. It's along the goal line. Luke Hughes just nudges it ever so slightly towards Portillo. Danger averted there, but you had two forecheckers for Wisconsin harassing Hughes. Now in comes D-Saint-Fowl, down to Lucius, back to D-Saint-Fowl. What a save by Eric Portillo. Wisconsin's feeling it now. They've still got possession in the offensive zone. D-Saint-Fowl in, shot blocked. Really nice job there by TJ Hughes, trying to feed him for a breakaway. Instead, they might get a 3-on-2. Here comes Sabaskevich in, and didn't get much on it, and it was deflected by a defensive stick. End-to-end action right now. Jay Karanen across to Steve Holtz. Now back to Karanen. Up the wall, here comes Dylan Duke. Duke far side, finds his man TJ Hughes, shoots, and a good defensive stick by Ben Dexheimer there. And then, a hit in the neutral zone on Dylan Duke. The whistle has not blown. Now there's a delayed penalty coming up, and what variety will this one be?
What is that?
A puck was flipped up in the air, and Duke, rather than trying to play it, went for the hit. Now Wisconsin breaks in, shot, and a glove save by Portillo. Whoa!
Well, Duke actually didn't go for the hit. Duke went and tried to play the puck with his head.
We'll have to see that one on replay. A lot has happened in the last few minutes. We'll see what the referees...
No, what just happened?
I think they're just booing the penalty, but we'll see what...
Oh, that's... Oh, dear.
The referee's mic is not turned on.
They're going to review the play. That might be a major.
That's what I was thinking. Let's see the replay again. That referee's microphone is not on. He was not able to relay the information. Previous play under further review. Let's take a look.
That's for head contact because Dylan Duke, I
can't. The puck was flipped up into the air just in front of the Michigan blue line, or the Wisconsin blue line, rather, and the Wisconsin player skating out, and Duke just kind of collide right by the blue line in a very big hit.
Yeah, Duke goes out. He plays the puck off his head. I think he might have forgotten what sport he's playing. But there is a hit, and
it was a big hit too. A lot of impact.
First thing I saw, I think it might have been shoulder to head.
They're reviewing it in the penalty box. We can see it right below us, but they haven't put a proper replay of extended length on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, they're not giving the referees any assistance here because the referees go out and call a major. Everybody's going to be up in arms about what's happening. Here we go.
Here's the replay.
Shoulder to head.
That looks pretty clear to me. I'd like to see the back angle view, but from the one we just saw, I mean, did he leave his feet to make that hit?
He did. He did.
I mean, that's.
I think Dylan Duke's
that would be a major probably in the NHL.
Yeah,
because you're not supposed to leave your feet.
Yeah, I think Dylan Duke's night is done, and Michigan's going to spend the rest of the period killing off a major.
We'll hear what the referees say. They just took off the headset, and they're speaking with the timekeeper, who is in the penalty box, and Duke, or in the middle area between the penalty boxes. And the timekeeper looks a little bamboozled.
Yeah,
trying to figure out what they're saying.
All about.
Here comes the referee. And it is 5-minute major and a game misconduct on Dylan Duke. That one looked pretty clear to me under the rules of NCAA hockey.
Yeah, I mean, there's any number. I mean, you and I have complained a whole lot about the officiating in Big Ten hockey, about how they're too quick to call the majors, and again, some of these are some of them are just patently ridiculous. I don't think that is.
I don't think so either.
I think they got that right.
Well, the score,
even if they had just called a minor, I think that's one Tony Granato challenges.
No doubt. The score is 3-2 Michigan over Wisconsin, and now 5 minutes of power play time for the Badgers. 5:45 remaining here in the second period.
Well, the good news is Michigan's done this a million times before. They've killed off a lot of majors this season successfully. The bad news is this is going to be the end of the period, and Michigan's momentum is more or less gone now. They
got to find a way to at least get tied into the locker room. Kuhlman's at the point. You'd like to hold the lead, but you can't cede multiple goals on a 5-minute penalty kill. Wisconsin's already had 3 minor penalty power plays, 0 for 3. They're passing it around between each other on the points. No shots taken yet. 20 seconds gone. Here's a rip from Cruz Lucius, deflects off the stick of Luke Hughes, high over top. Kuhlman's plays it down low, and trying to drag it into a shooting posture was Carson Bannell.
Good
but
stick
the poke
work.
check by Portillo.
Good active stick work by Portillo there.
Kuhlman's shot through a ton of bodies, doesn't get anywhere close to home. Deflects along the perimeter. Michigan's killed off 45 seconds. Cruz Lucius, right wing point. Now goes left wing side for D. St. Phal. Now to Kuhlman's up top at the Big Ten logo.
They got to get
now pass across. Here comes Lucius. Takes a shot and he puts it off the post. Michigan gets a little lucky there. Moyle's in some trouble. He passes it around. Keaton Pearson plays it out. Michigan goes for a change. It's the second period, or as Doc Emmerich would say, the period of the long change.
It's the period most advantageous to power plays. Penalty killers try to only have a 25 to 30 second shift. That was almost a minute.
Second unit out there for the Badgers. Strammel gains the line. Dexheimer, far side, trying to get it set up. Quick little spin move there by Jugnoth, and it's out. Malmquist across for Dexheimer. Now to Jugnoth. He'll lead the entry. Strammel just in onside. Pass back across to Malmquist. Skates around with it. Takes a shot and a glove save by Portillo.
And major penalties are where you need your goalie to step up, and that's a great glove save by Portillo. We've seen him not be able to retrieve that puck much of the season, but Portillo's had a few good glove saves the last couple minutes.
3:23 remaining in period number 2. Michigan 3 and Wisconsin 2. Fantilli and Strammel to do the draw. Strammel wins it back. Possession Badgers. Dexheimer shot blocked off, and Karanen up to Fantilli, and he shoots at the length of the ice. 4 minutes remaining in the second period. Michigan nursing a 3-2 lead. 3:11 remaining in the 5-minute power play. Here comes Dexheimer, goes end-to-end, cuts it on Portillo, and a save.
Oh, dear.
But he kept the play alive, and Holtz shoots it around and gets it out. I don't know why Portillo didn't just put the glove down. He didn't have help from his defense.
The fact that goalie save replays are sponsored by Old Trapper might be the funniest thing I've seen today.
And there's a play, oh boy. Nolan Moyle had played that. That was very close to a too many men. As Michigan was in the midst of the change right in front of the bench. Wisconsin just skating around and hitting the deck is Frank Nazar. No contact. And Wisconsin enters, gains possession, skates down low. Pass across D. St. Phal. They score.
Well,
perfect pass to the slot.
Well, Matthew D. St. Phal has been the best player on the ice tonight, in my opinion. He's been excellent. He's been really the linchpin for Wisconsin's offense. And, again, that's well worked. Michigan was out of sorts on the penalty kill. They're not set defensively, and that's just a phenomenal pullback.
Really nice passing play into the slot, and D. St. Phal, a great trigger man there. Shoots it by Portillo, sliding across. Not much chance for the Michigan netminder there. And that covered just about half of the 5-minute kill. The goal was scored 2:29 into the 5-minute power play. 3:14 remaining in the second period as we get going, and it's an all-you-can-eat power play, major variety, 3-3 game.
Well, Wisconsin finally got a power play goal.
There you go. Kuhlman's up to Cruz Lucius. Pass up for Brock Caulfield, and a great play there by Keaton Pearson, or else they had a pass right out in front of the net. Now another one across. Kuhlman shoots it high and over top. Lucius there into the slot. Brock Caulfield, and a good play by Brindley to intercept it, but his clearing down the ice went into the Wisconsin bench, and we've got a defensive zone faceoff for Michigan. Bad luck there.
Well, Zach Erdahl is pointing at the circle. I don't know if he was just saying that was defensive zone faceoff or he wanted a delay of game penalty on Brindley.
2:44 remaining in the second period. 1:59 remaining in the penalty to Dylan Duke. Wisconsin has scored one to tie it at 3 apiece. Michigan wins that defensive zone draw and quickly shoots it down. It's Moyle and Jackson Halem as the two forwards, and Ethan Edwards and Casey now as the defenseman out there. Now an aggressive forecheck from Moyle, turns it over. Moyle skates in, going to try and wrap it around. No, he'll just circle the perimeter, trying to just rag the puck, kill more time. He gets taken down in the corner. Crowd thought about a call for a moment. Referees never flinched. 2:15 to go in the period. 1:25 now in the major penalty. Wisconsin going to try to get up and get set back into the offensive zone. Ben Dexheimer at the point, and he lost it. Just quick fumble, and it goes out. Wisconsin gets possession again. Jugnoth into the zone. Quick aggressive forechecking there from Seamus Casey. Halem comes over. Edwards in the corner. They're all whacking away at it. And now it comes free around to the corner. Nice little stick work. Wisconsin's second unit getting set back up. Jugnoth left circle. Takes a shot. And it made its way in on Portillo, and he made the save. A little bit of tussling in front of the net. 48 seconds remaining in the penalty, and 1:33 in the period.
Well, that's a good sequence by Michigan there. They almost had the short-handed chance. The problem is they really didn't have the correct personnel on the ice for something like that. Nolan Moyle, on his off wing, he can't really pull the pass back, even though there was the opportunity there. So he just plays to waste some time.
And a face-off won back by the Wolverines. 45 seconds remaining as Jake Harrinan shoots it the length of the ice. McClellan plays it behind his own net. Wisconsin can get a rush here and get into the zone. They get set up. They'll have enough time to cycle around and look for a chance. Cruz Lucius had it, lost it. Kuhlman's picks it back up in help. D. St. Phal skates down the wall. Now back to Kuhlman's at the point. 25 seconds remaining. Kuhlman swings it to D. St. Phal, cuts in, now lays it on his backhand to Kuhlman's. He waits, pass far side, looking for Cruz Lucius. Waits with it, pass there, and a shot from Brock Caulfield in the circle, saved by Portillo sliding across. Now we're down to 10 seconds on the power play and 55.3 in the period.
Well, that's another good save by Portillo there, but Michigan there had the opportunity to really put the nail in the coffin on this penalty kill, but Brindley couldn't control the puck on the edge of the blue line. He could have skated it out, either maybe gone for a chance or at least just shot it down the ice and burned all the time off, but...
Well, we said they wanted to get through this 5-minute with one or fewer goals allowed. They have allowed one to tie the game, but nothing further, and it's about to expire, but they'll need to get possession out of the zone. Here's a chance and a shot and a save by Portillo. Standing tall there. Michigan's got their man out of the box. It's Luca Fantilli skating across, and now Samoskevich gets hammered down hard from behind, and we're going to have a penalty coming on Wisconsin.
And another carryover penalty, 38 seconds on the power play. And then on the third period, they're going to play about 1:20, barring a goal. That's a hit from behind it. That's going to be a cross-check? No. What penalty was that?
I don't know. I couldn't tell what the referee said.
Yeah, I've never seen that hand signal
Wisconsin
before.
penalty on number 6.
Subtitles have failed us.
Well, we'll wait for stat broadcast update. 38.1 to go in the period. 3-3 tie, Michigan and Wisconsin. Shots 24-12 in favor of the Badgers. Brindley and Lindmark do the draw. Lindmark wins it to the opposite corner. No one's there, and Wisconsin is first to it. They jackhammer it the other way.
The minor is hitting from behind.
Hitting from behind. Well, that's what it was.
Yeah, that was in fact, it wasn't against a board, so it wasn't boarding.
Here's Fantilli into the zone. Luke Hughes there, pass back across Fantilli, they score!
The exact same spot.
Yep, same spot as the third goal. Perfect entry, Luke Hughes across. And Fantilli, another quick trigger from the right wing circle, and he just blows it by McClellan, who's not over in time. He's having to slide laterally. Change of side passes, the most dangerous in hockey, and McClellan's been hung out to dry twice on that. Perfect puck movement.
And I feel sorry for McClellan there, because Luke Hughes has the puck on his right side, and Hughes has a shot on him too. And Hughes can also go in and walk it into the net if he wants to. He's got Brindley coming into the middle. He could just drop it to Brindley and have Brindley have a rip. Instead, he slings it across to Fantilli, and that's a phenomenal creative play by Luke Hughes. That's what having a defenseman like that allows you to do as a defense on the power play, because that wasn't really set. Michigan was kind of scrambling.
No, it was a busted entry or just a ragged entry, but they had the numbers, and Hughes saw the opportunity there. The goal light has not gone off behind McClellan. 18 seconds remaining in the period.
They're anticipating the end of the period.
Yep, here's Moyle's long shot in on McClellan. He makes a save, 8.7. So offensive zone face-off for the Wolverines. They'll have, one opportunity if you can win it back to get maybe a shot on net, but almost there to the end of the second period. A lot of goals here in this period.
Well, the period of the long change didn't disappoint. The effect of the long change is that it's harder to get fresh skaters on the ice, which is always advantage offense. More goals get scored in the second period than any other period in hockey.
Face-off here for TJ Hughes. Wisconsin won another one in their own end, and they are able to get it out. Casey at the offensive blue line skates back to the center line, and that's when time will expire. Michigan will take a 4-3 lead into the locker room. A period really changed by penalties.
Yeah, and that's a lot more like it from Michigan. The biggest penalty was the major and game misconduct to Dylan Duke, and it was the right call.
Yep.
That put Michigan on the back foot, even though they had already retaken the lead by that point. Really looked to be in command of the game, but Wisconsin ties it up on an extremely well-worked sequence, which ties the game up, but Michigan comes right back on the power play. An absolutely phenomenal goal that Michigan skaters really kind of came up with on the fly. Just an absolutely phenomenal play by Luke Hughes and Adam Fantilli.
Yep. Shots now for the game, 24-14 in favor of the Badgers. Michigan 5 penalties to 2 for Wisconsin. 21 penalties in minutes for Michigan. Obviously 10 game misconduct to Duke. But it is a story that of the first 40 of this game, Michigan has spent 11 of them shorthanded.
Yeah, Michigan spending a lot of time on the penalty kill. If you're a team like Michigan, you really want to establish yourself in the game and control.
Well, and that's part of the story, too. It's 11 minutes shorthanded for Michigan. And in total for Wisconsin, it's about, 2:15? 2:30? I mean, 2 minutes on the first one they killed off, and Michigan scored very quickly into that power play at the end of the period. So A lot more time shorthanded for the Wolverines. That does color the shot count to some degree. Stronger period for Michigan there in the second, but they're going to need a crisp effort here in the third defensively to close it out.
Yeah, I'll be very interested to see how the third period is officiated, and that may seem strange, but a lot of times when there's a big penalty disparity through one period or two periods, it tends to snap back. They're going to look out for stuff. Brandon Naranjo is probably going to have something to say to the officials, basically saying, watch Wisconsin, watch what they're doing, because this hasn't really been a hard-hitting game.
Yeah, it hasn't been. That hit from Duke was really just kind of out of nowhere in the neutral zone. I mean, it didn't make a ton of sense. It just popped up.
Yeah, and if you take out that major, Michigan's got 3 penalties to Wisconsin's 2. That's a little more in line with what it is. The major really does color everything, and again, it's the right call.
Yep.
That Dylan Duke is done for the night, as Michigan picked the wrong night to dress Luca Fantilli, a defenseman, as an extra skater.
Yeah, I don't think he's taking a shift tonight.
I think the only thing he actually did was serve the major.
Serve the major. A quick score update around the country before we head to our intermission break. Ohio State now pouring it on 4-0 over Penn State. Looks like they're going to take game 1 of that series. And Notre Dame has broken the ice in South Bend. 1-0 lead over Michigan State on a goal by Grant Silanoff at 16:12 of the second period. Shots pretty even in that game. Around the rest of the country, not too many marquee games, as it's normally the first weekend of the conference tournaments in a lot of these conferences. Ferris State, an in-state school, 2-2 tied with Bowling Green. Northern Michigan tied 2-2 with Bemidji. Michigan Tech 0-0 with St. Thomas. That's all in the CCHA tournament. Out in Hockey East, an old opponent of the Wolverines, Boston U up 5-3 on Providence. Final weekend of the regular season in the Hockey East. Same as NCHC, Western Michigan 3-0 over Miami. And that just about does it for the scores. I guess RIT 1-0 over Mercyhurst in the first weekend of the Atlantic Hockey Tournament. RIT, the favorite to be the Atlantic Hockey's entrant into the NCAA tournament. If the tournament started today, they'd be playing the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
I hope Bob Motzko's watching that game.
Yeah, maybe some forward scouting, but Minnesota off this weekend as they get prepped for their semifinal battle. If Ohio State beats Penn State and Michigan wins this series, it'll be Michigan against Ohio State here at Yost next Saturday night. If Penn State wins that series and Michigan beats Wisconsin, then Penn State will go to Minnesota and Michigan will bring in the winner of Notre Dame and Michigan State. So some little early to see about the seeding.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. I think at least one of these series will probably end tomorrow night.
Probably.
So we'll find out the brackets a lot quicker. I can definitely tell you that the notion of playing Ohio State or Notre Dame at home with the way the season ended in the semifinals is not necessarily the most attractive to a lot of Michigan fans.
Yeah, I will say that, this Big Ten tournament is a fun one because it's really the first time since this format's been around that these 2 out of 3 opening weekend series are interesting.
Yeah.
For many years, the Big Ten tournament quarterfinals, you'd have 3 or 4 real teams, and you'd have just 3 really bad teams. I think in the history of the tournament so far, only 1 road team has taken 2 out of 3.
Well, can I remind you of the series last season right here at Yost against Michigan State? The combined score of the 2 games was Michigan 12, Michigan State 1. That got Danton Cole fired.
Yep.
But the Big Ten has been absolutely phenomenal this year. It's the strongest it's ever been, and this is exactly what they were hoping for when they formed the conference and added Penn State. It's really been a banner year for the conference.
It's been a great year, and we will take a 4 or so minute break, and we'll be back to bring you the third period shortly. And we're back now for the third period of action in about 2 minutes' time. The teams are about to come back out onto the ice. 4-3, Michigan over Wisconsin in the Big Ten Tournament Quarterfinal matchup, Game 1 between the Michigan Wolverines and the Wisconsin Badgers. I'm Alex Train, joined by Nick Hornberg, and Michigan leads 4-3 after 2, an eventful game. Michigan scored first. Wisconsin got a couple quick goals to take a 2-1 lead, held that into midway through the second, and Michigan got 2 goals just over a minute apart. Wisconsin scored to tie on a power play 5-minute variety after a game misconduct penalty to Dylan Duke, but Michigan took the lead back with just 18 seconds remaining in that second period on a power play of their own. That's where it leaves at 4-3.
Yeah, I don't know what Brandon Naurato said to his team during the intermission between the first and second period. Whatever it was, it worked. Aside from Mackie Samoskiewicz's very flukish goal in the first 90 seconds of the game, the first period was all Wisconsin. Second period, much more in line with what you want to see if you're Michigan. Michigan scored 3 goals in that period to Wisconsin's 1. And Wisconsin's 1 was only due to what I would describe as an extremely unnecessary major penalty. Not unnecessary for the officials to call, it was the right call, but an extremely unnecessary hit by Dylan Duke.
Yeah, it didn't really accomplish anything.
Yeah, it did very little, but Michigan in control of this game, really, for the first time at the start of the period. They did establish some control right before drawing that major, but Michigan comfortably, or not comfortably, they're only up by 1 goal, but Michigan can come out of this one come out of the second period on the front foot, should be able to see this one out.
Time ticks down as the teams are back now out onto the ice. Both teams have put their starting 5 out there for the third period. It'll be the Fantilli, Brindley, and Rucker-McGorty line for Michigan. Fantilli to do the draw this time. We've seen Brindley take most of those tonight, but Fantilli takes this one up against Owen Lindmark, and he wins it back. Person across to Luke Hughes, and then pass up for McGorty, tipped off Rutgers' stick and out of play. 7 seconds in, we get a whistle, just like that first period.
Yeah, yet another false start for a start of a period. But are they going to go back right to center ice? Yes, they are. Well, this time they burned off 7 seconds instead of 5.
Right at the Michigan 100 Seasons logo, specially put for this 2022-2023 season. Fantilli and Lindmark will do it again. Lindmark's got Bantle on his left and Horbach on his right. Fantilli wins another one. Luke Hughes over to Keaton Person in the right circle. We got some news in the second intermission via Twitter, and we'll give you that in a moment. Here comes Brindley coming in. Shot goes wide, Rucker to it. Pass low to high, finds Luke Hughes, skates around, now tries to shimmy in the circle, takes a shot, goes wide of the cage. Keaton Person pass deflected there for a moment. Now Hughes comes in, passes across for Brindley in a good shooting angle, had a yawning cage, but just couldn't get it off. Now he takes that one, loose in front of the net, and Wisconsin scoops it up, not out. Michigan holds it in. McGorty, far side.
Delayed penalty.
Michigan's going to go to a power play. Hughes spins around with it, finds Samoskiewic, the 6th skater, in onside. Shot from Fantilli is saved by McClellan, and we'll get the penalty call in a moment. What I was going to say is Tom Fitzgerald, general manager of the New Jersey Devils, was giving a post-trade deadline press conference tonight and said Luke Hughes will be joining the team at the end of Michigan's season.
Well, to the shock of nobody, Luke Hughes, I think he broke the Michigan the Michigan defenseman goal-scoring record last season, had followed it up with another great season, not quite lighting the lamp like he was last year, but another great season. He will be an asset to the New Jersey Devils going forward.
So Daniel Latch goes to the box for interference, and Michigan's got a power play to try to take their first 2-goal lead of the night, up 4-3 in this game. But Wisconsin's able to quickly chip it out right off the faceoff. Whoa, and Edwards whiffed on that pass. But thankfully Dominic Mersch was backing up instead of pursuing on the forechecker. He could have been in alone on Portillo. Ethan Edwards comes down the wing, does the dump in. Now in the corner there, rolled off a Badger's stick. Now trying to clear it out. Wisconsin held in at the line. Hughes over to Ethan Edwards. Edwards banks it down the boards. Jackson Halem now in the corner. Ooh, nice little pass there. I think that was Brock Caulfield maybe, and it helps facilitate a full length of the ice clear and a full line change for Wisconsin. 45 seconds gone in the man advantage for the Wolverines. Here comes Samoskevich slicing in, just couldn't get a shot away. Now Bass behind himself to Gavin Brindley, now into the circle for Rucker McGroarty. McGroarty there to Hughes at the top, across Fantilli looking for the hat trick, and he just put it wide. Same spot on the ice he scored the first two, just other end of the rink. Fantilli right circle, reverses to Hughes. Hughes waits, back to Samoskevich at the point. 40 seconds remaining. Samoskevich to Hughes, trying to find Fantilli on the goal line. Comes back up in the circle, now to Hughes at the point. Back to Fantilli. He waits and shoots it right into the shin pads of Kuhlmans, and now his backhand pass to the point. Too far, and down the ice it goes. Michigan can maybe get one more rush and one more look. 20 seconds remaining, and Hughes is the guy to do it. Coming down the ice into the circle, lays it behind himself. Couldn't get a shot away there. Either of the two options that pass was potentially going to. And now a potential break. Here's Dominic Mersch in, and he comes in on Portillo. Portillo makes the save, and Mersch just bowls him over. And the crowd, those who decided to brave the blizzard, are up in arms to some degree. Here's a shot.
I don't think that's goaltender interference.
I don't think it was, but that's in the NHL you might get some fisticuffs as a result of that sort of thing. Badgers come into the zone. Kerr to Strammel. Oh, puck put out in front of the net. Man, Steve Holtz just tipped it off his stick right out in front of his own net. And Wisconsin was almost there to tap it in behind Eric Portillo. Badgers back to full strength. 16:33 remaining in period number 3. Michigan 4, Wisconsin 3. Game 1 of a best 2 out of 3 weekend series. Winner moves on to the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament in this year 2023. Nick Granowitz to Mark Estapa. Michigan potentially 3-on-3 the other way. They carry it into the zone. Estapa quickly turns it over. And now Badgers going back the other way. Cruz Lucius comes in. Perfect slip pass in. And a save by Portillo on D. St. Foul. Where is the puck?
He froze
it's on the goal line, but it took a long time for the whistle to come. That was 2-on-2. The Badgers come in, and Lucius with just a picture-perfect slip pass to find D. St. Foul in tight. Went to the backhand to try to tuck it inside the post on Portillo, and he just got those legs.
Well, D. St. Foul has 2 goals. That would have been a hat trick, and that would have been an emphatic one. But that is excellent by Portillo. Excellent work to get the right leg fully extended against the bar.
And the puck was on the goal line.
Was it?
I think it's right there. And then he got his leg out.
And they want a penalty. Granado is calling the officials over.
Not sure what is being discussed here.
I think we might be getting a challenge for boarding.
The referees now are skating over, talking to each other.
So
now he's going to come out and talk. Nope. No challenge.
No
Just
challenge.
a face-off to Portillo's right. Huge save from the netminder.
Because there was, I think it was Steve Holtz with a pretty hard check finish there after the chance.
Jackson Halem skates around now across the center line to Nazar, back to Halem. He cuts in and tried to find Ciccolini on the far side, just couldn't get it to him. Now the speed of the Badgers the other way. Good firm check from Ethan Edwards, rubs him off the puck, and now a loose puck right in front of the net. And tipped out. Now Nazar the other way. He comes down the wing and then turns it over. Michigan gets right back on it, but their momentum and a potential rush disrupted. Luke Hughes skates in with it, though, takes a fluttering shot wide of the net. Ciccolini looks for Halem. Tipped around. Now Luke Hughes takes the shot. Big juicy rebound off McClellan. Michigan battles to win possession, and a hit there in the corner from Vorlicki on Nazar. Puck tipped around, now loose in front of the net. Nazar to it. He gets yanked down. No penalty coming yet. And now the other direction. Potential breakaway for Wisconsin. Flying down the wing is Gorniak, but the puck rolled too far to really get an angle in on Portillo by the time he got to it. Now a shot comes through, deflects off Mersch, off Portillo and into the netting, out of play. 14:53 to go. No shortage of action in this one as Michigan leads 4-3.
So a few things just happened there. Frank Nazar, a little surprised they didn't call a penalty there. on a trip on Frank Nazar, but it might have been a soft one, so that might be the right call. But then on the flip side, excellent back check by Keaton Pearson. Not a guy known for being fleet of foot. Very good heads-up play by Michigan's veteran stay-at-home defenseman.
And Wolverines win that draw, able to push it back over the blue line, then Wisconsin nudges it right back in. Second exit there, successful by the Wolverines. McGroarty after it, along with Fantilli on the forecheck. Wisconsin scoops it up, and now potential rush the other way. Jay Karanen having to watch Owen Lindmark, and another good back check by him, but the pass across. Oh, what a save! Portillo coming across with the glove. On another great look on the side of the neck, again on a kind of a regroup play. Wisconsin rushing the other way, 1-on-1, 2-on-2. Those kinds of plays is where they found some of their most dangerous looks. That pass trying to set one up is an errant one, and Michigan is there for the icing, 14-13 remaining.
Well, that's a very signature save there, Portillo.
He's made two of them in this period.
Flopping forward with his arms in the air. Kind of reminds you of a certain somebody. You don't speak Czech, do you?
Face off here from TJ Hughes up against Lindmark. Or no, that's Brock Caulfield. One back by TJ Hughes. They tee up Casey. He waits, he shoots, and it's blocked off by a red sweater right out in front of him and then chipped out the other way. We'll see if it makes it the length. It does not. Edwards picks it up a few paces in front of the end line. And the Wolverines go the other way. Samoskevich cross-ice pass deflects off a stick. Cruz Lucius picks it up, wheels around. Backhand pass back to his defense as they look to get the outlet pass up. D-St. Foul, backhand pass into the corner. Edwards on the retrieval. 2 forecheckers come up. Puck loose in front. D-St. Foul scores! Hat trick for Matthew D-St. Foul. And we have a tie game at 4 apiece. The Badgers had been pushing for a while, and it's 4-4.
Yeah, that's the back pass goes through Casey's legs. I don't think that's really gone to anybody. I'm not sure who they're going to charge an assist. They're going to give an assist to, maybe nobody. But it's through Casey's legs, and D-St. Foul on rushing. Great shot. Portillo's caught going the other way, and the puck just beats Portillo into that corner.
Oh, you got a dump in there from the Badgers, and they send 2 forward attackers, F1 and F2, deep in the zone on the offensive zone forecheck. Create a little bit of mayhem. Loose puck, squibs in front, and the third forward in is D-St. Foul walking down the slot in a dangerous area of the ice, and Portillo doesn't have much chance on that one. And we've got a tie game at 4 apiece. Buckle up.
And they're going to give 1 primary assist to Lucius.
Yeah, that makes sense. Michigan's got it in the offensive zone. Hughes cuts through a couple men and turns it over, and Wisconsin's got to rush the other way. Potential 2-on-0. Mersch comes in, shoots, he scores! And Wisconsin, just like that, has a 5-4 lead with 13:21 to go.
I mean, it's deserved. Michigan right there, I mean, that's an egregious turnover. Going the other way, it's 2-on-none. And Mersch takes it himself. Usually on those chances, what you do is you try and play the pass and try and wrong foot the goalie. But Mersch right there has got the confidence he can beat Portillo. And I can't really fault Portillo that much for that one. He's come up big so far in this period.
I wondered if Mersch was going to do the Mitch Marner move where you come in and then lay it between your own legs to the guy behind you. But instead he just shoots it himself.
You know, if Jack Hughes ever played college hockey, you might have seen something like that. But
Brindley goes down, puck in front of the net, and Fantilli with a chance. Shot goes off a Wisconsin body. That's off Carson Bannell. He takes it the other way, and now with 13 minutes to go, the Wolverines are going to be clawing to try to get this one tied back up, a lead they held not that long ago, only about 45 seconds. Not sure how far apart those goals came, but it was not very long.
It was not far. I think it was less than a minute.
Fantilli comes up the other way, trying to slice into the zone, backhands it high and over top the net. He's looking to answer D-St. Foul with a hat trick of his own in a really wild game here tonight. Puck comes in on Portillo. Edwards picks it up, both teams changing. Edwards pass there for TJ Hughes, turned over. Wisconsin comes the other way. Gorniak slices around Seamus Casey. Edwards bumps him. Casey comes around behind his own net. 12:15 remaining. Casey leads the rush. Michigan comes in, activating their defenseman. Puck dribbles wide of the cage. Down in the corner. TJ Hughes with it. Pass to the slot, and Samoskevich collided with another Michigan player there. And now Wisconsin the other direction. Gorniak down the wing. Gorniak come in. Bad angle shot off of Portillo. And now we got a hand pass on the Badgers. 11:54. Wisconsin now up to 33 shots on the game as they've put up 9 already in this third period. A very ragged period from the Wolverines.
I guess they need to move the goalies to the other end of the ice to give Michigan the advantage. Wisconsin, first and third period, have really been the better team so far, and they've been better today.
11:54 remaining. Istapa, Granowitz, and Moyle, the fourth line out there for the Wolverines. They win the face-off just outside the Wolverine blue line. Luke Hughes banks it off the neutral zone boards. Up ahead to Granowitz, sends it deep in the corner. Now along the wall, Luke Hughes for Nick Granowitz, poked off his stick by a diving play by Matthew D. St. Fowl. He's been all over the ice tonight. Nolan Moyle with it down in the corner. He wheels around. Diagonal pass, top side. Keaton Pearson hops over his stick. Now a potential rush the other way. Oh, he just got back to it before the Badgers were there. Istapa picks this one up, skates around. A half-capacity Yos Ice Arena crowd, a little bit nervous right now. Time ticking down, close to 11 minutes remaining, and Michigan needs a goal, trailing 5-4 in the third period. Nolan Moyle behind the net, plays it out into the slot. Nobody home. Then good poke check held in, but Michigan is relenting as they're getting a change. Fourth line heading off, and they'll get the second line out there with Frank Nazar. Hands it off to Jackson Halem. He comes flying down the wing, backhand pass. Ricochets wide of the net. Now rims around far side. Zach Erdahl to it, and that one out of play.
Yeah, that one goes out of play, and this is where you start having conversations. There's there's 10:39 left in regulation. Wisconsin's up a goal. This is where you start talking, okay, we know Wisconsin's playing for their season. What is Michigan playing for aside from Brandon Arado getting the permanent job? Another thing is Michigan is right on the fringe of getting a 1 seed in the tournament and hosting a regional.
Yep.
If they get swept out of this by Wisconsin, they probably drop to the top 2 seed, and they're in Minnesota's regional.
Potentially, yeah. Offensive zone draw now for the Wolverines. Fantilli trying to get to it and then tipped off his stick and out by the Badgers the other way. Now corralled for a second, and then a hard hit in the corner. Holy cow.
That's clean.
Yep, Carson Bannell just flattened Ethan Edwards in the corner. Michigan did get it out of their own zone, but that was in the right corner behind Eric Portillo, where one of the biggest hits of the game just occurred. Gavin Brindley wheels around behind the net. Played off of his stick. Wisconsin back to it, now into the slot. McGroarty there takes a shot, and a good blocker save by McClellan. Now puck flipped down the other way, goes all the way down. It's not on Portillo. He didn't play it, and D. St. Fowl is there first. Tries to find his man in the slot. Goes all the way just inside the blue line. Kuhlemans takes it, centering pass, looking for D. St. Fowl. Tied up, and now the puck is on the side of the net. Lucius gets whacked at, and now his no-look backhand pass to the slot turned over, and now a rush the other way. Here comes Halem. He's got as much speed as anyone, and then he just gets ragdolled off the puck. That's another legal hit, playing the puck, and now a centering pass from Samoskevich. Did not see a potential man who would have had a clean look at McClellan. Wisconsin got to it, flips it down. We are halfway home here in the third period. Michigan in search of a goal, trailing 5-4. Keaton Pearson comes down the wing. Pearson wheels around the net, pursued well by Vorlicki. Wisconsin is playing with so much energy and purpose tonight. They really have been, I think, the better team in this game.
Absolutely. If Wisconsin could have played this every night during the regular season, they would have been a competitive team in this conference.
Samoskevich's shot and a glove save there from McClellan. 8:52 remaining as we hit the final commercial timeout of regulation.
And it's another good chance for Michigan going the other way. Michigan's got a few decent chances, but this is one where McClellan, statistically, he's not having that great of a night. He's given up 4 goals and 21 shots. It's a save percentage that it will not get you a job at the professional level. But he stood up there, a couple of good saves. A shot from Rutger McGroarty might be his best so far of this period. It wasn't a super hard shot, but McGroarty, what makes his shot unique and what got him drafted in the lottery by the Winnipeg Jets is the disguise he has on the shot. You don't know it's coming until it's almost right in front of your face if you're a goalie. That's a great save by McClellan to keep the Badgers lead.
Notre Dame still holding that 1-0 lead over Michigan State. 13:08 remaining in that one. Ohio State still up 4-0 on Penn State, getting into the waning bits of that one, about halfway gone in the third period there as well.
And it looks like the media timeout is nearing the conclusion. The Scrapers are coming off the ice, and the referees made the motion for Wisconsin to get their 5 out there on the ice.
One thing to note, I believe in the Big Ten tournament they play a standard 20-minute 5-on-5 overtime. Michigan was in an overtime with Minnesota in the Big Ten tournament 2 years ago, and I believe that was the rules for that tournament. I can look it up, but that's my memory.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember the format of that one, but I do remember several years ago, Mel Pearson's first season, the semifinal at
that was also 5-on-5.
That was 5-on-5. We could be here a long night if Michigan.
Well, Michigan's got to get a tying goal, and they haven't done it yet. 8:51 to go. Puck in the center ice area, and Luke Hughes to it, flips it up. He got planted there on the far side. Wisconsin starting to ratchet up the physicality. TJ Hughes to Seamus Casey. Beautiful little spin move. Now to Samoskevich. Flips it for TJ Hughes. Turned over. Oh, puck bounces down around Nazer there. And now the Badgers pick it up. They go the other way. Puck goes down towards Portillo. Comes out to play it. And Michigan breaks out the other direction. Casey across the center line will shoot it in, and he just puts it wide of McClellan. Bounces off the end boards, now off the goal. Michigan changing up their men, so not too many forecheckers go into the zone. Pass up for Sam Stang. He gets rubbed off the puck for a moment by Ethan Edwards, but then gets back to it. Two men converge. It's Karenin and Edwards down there behind the goal. Jack Gorniak on it. Now a shot from the right point goes high and over top the net. Puck battle along the wall, held in by Ceulemans. Finds Charlie Strammel. His pass for Sam Stang, who was headed off for a change. He turned around, saw the puck, took a shot. Portillo saves it, and we'll have another whistle. 7:32 remaining, and that's a solid minute or so that Wisconsin kills off where Michigan is defending.
And it's I noticed Brandon Arado made an interesting adjustment throughout this game. Ethan Edwards is on the ice with Jay Karenin playing together now. Despite the fact on the line chart and throughout this season it's been Edwards and Casey, a highly skilled pairing to neutralize forechecking. It's interesting to see that adjustment was made when Wisconsin's forecheck really has caused a lot of trouble for Michigan.
Postseason games will continue to feature 20-minute 5-on-5 overtime periods, is the official ruling from the Big Ten. So that's what we could be looking at. Michigan's got it behind the Wisconsin net. A shot went high and over top. Brindley had it for a moment, then got knocked off the puck. Luke Hughes high in the zone. And battling with Carson Bantle.
Offside anyway.
Latch with it for Wisconsin. Lemaster falls down, gets it up to Bantle. He tips it in. 7 minutes remaining. Michigan looking for that tying goal. Keaton Pearson skates up with it. Pass for Gavin Brindley. Brindley comes in, waits, flips far side of the ice. It's Seamus Casey. Casey waits, spins it back down behind the net. Feathered in front by Adam Fantilli, and then Wisconsin chips it up and out of the zone.
Well, this is one because of score effects. Wisconsin, I think for the Badgers, it might feel like a very long power play.
Here's a shot comes in on McClellan and a quick glove stop. Michigan's going to need to get a little bit better looks than that. 6:25 remaining.
Yeah, it isn't a terrible look. He's got a clean look at the net, but McClellan, it's from far enough out that McClellan's able to make the save. This is where faceoffs become really important. Michigan's kind of stemmed the bleeding on the faceoffs. It's 31-24 in favor of Wisconsin now. But this is the part where every Wisconsin faceoff win has the potential to burn off 30 seconds or so.
And Michigan gets possession off that draw. Samoskevich centering pass, batted aside by Stang. Michigan retains possession. Casey shot comes in, loose in front of the net. Halem couldn't get the rebound, and now it's flipped out. Here comes Stang, another potential breakaway. In on Portillo, Stang poke checked. And we got a penalty on Michigan. What was that, a slash?
A slash?
Who are they calling that on?
I think they're calling it on Edwards.
Have to see that one on the replay.
Yep, they got Edwards for slashing. They're going to need to show it. I didn't see it.
5-4, Wisconsin, 6:07 remaining. And it's going to be a 2-minute penalty on Ethan Edwards. Would like to see a replay of that one. It didn't look like he was close enough to really slash.
Edwards came in late, unless they're thinking it happened after the shot.
They're not going to get a replay, and so Wisconsin's going to be able to, if they prevent a shorthanded look and just play it smart, they can kill off a third of the remaining time. But here comes Luke Hughes right off the draw. He's skating down the other way, trying to feather a pass across, and a good diving play from Corson Kulemans denied that pass. And they shut down a potential shorthanded rush right off the faceoff, but then turned right back over. And here's Michigan again into the zone. A look, Fantilli, and a save by McClellan.
That would have been quite the hat trick for Fantilli. A goals, even strength, short, and extra man.
And now Michigan blocks that one off. They're playing aggressively, trying to get some looks because they know time is not on their favor. Right there you see Fantilli goes behind the net to flush out the Wisconsin player. Now they do a little give and go coming in on the net, and a great poke check there by Jay Karanen. Now up to Fantilli, backhand pass to Brindley. He's going to go in and himself. 1-on-3, trying to get some help. He's got Fantilli in front if he could find him. The pass wasn't there, but a potential 2-on-1 for the Badgers the other way. Pass comes in looking for Strammel. Holtz inserts himself in the right spot, and Fantilli throws his body there. Now Jugnuth with it on the left wing boards. A minute killed off. First time they've got it set up. Jugnuth shot. Big rebound right back to him off the pad of Portillo. Dexheimer across, waits into the circle. Strammel shot on the doorstep. Now a pass back across to the point. Here's a shot, goes wide. Jugnuth with it, left circle. Couple good looks for Wisconsin. Back to Dexheimer. He takes another shot. And the rebound snagged by Fantilli, but his clearing attempt didn't get out. Wisconsin holds it in. 20 seconds remaining. We're down to 4:25 in the game.
This penalty
and that puck goes under Jugnuth, and that is what Michigan needed. They get everybody off. They're about to get back to full strength. Here's an intercept. Turnover for the Wolverines. A look comes in. Halem pass across, and nobody there. That was a great look. And now a breakaway. Here comes Erdahl the other way. Glove stop Portillo. And with 4:05 remaining, we get a whistle.
And I'll tell you what, Michigan's penalty kill created some decent chances there, but ultimately Wisconsin just killed off a third of regulation. Michigan's got at most a minute before they really start thinking about pulling Eric Portillo.
5-4, Wisconsin over Michigan. 4:05 remaining. The Badgers playing one of their best games of the season in a very spirited effort. Face-off one back by Wisconsin. Shot comes in wide of the net. Erdahl with it on the far side, tries to wrap it around. Wisconsin is still playing very aggressively. Michigan comes up the other way into the offensive zone. Samoskevich wings that one around the boards. Rutger McGroarty in there wins possession, but his pass for TJ Hughes a little bit too far for him. Casey tries to seal the far wall and couldn't do so. Samoskevich picks it up. Backhand flip pass. TJ Hughes got some room inside. Here comes Casey. Casey diagonal pass. Oh, that was perfect for Luke Hughes, and he just couldn't corral it. Hughes gets it back, though. Pass to the point. McGroarty's shot didn't get through. Too many bodies in front. 3:25 remaining.
Michigan getting very aggressive in their... Oh, that hit the scoreboard. Michigan getting very aggressive in their alignments now. Luke Hughes and Seamus Casey on the ice together, the two power play quarterbacks, as well as the forward line with TJ Hughes is now playing with Samoskevich and McGroarty.
3:21 remaining.
Now Moyles,
Wisconsin 5, Michigan 4.
Now another interesting adjustment. Moyle is now on the top line with Fantilli and Brindley as McGroarty moved down to take Dylan Duke's spot.
And Portillo is going to the bench. Is Michigan going to call their timeout?
I think so. Or are they challenging?
We've got a stoppage in play, and now the referee is skating to announce. So they're going to use their timeout to challenge a potential major this is one of those where even if you don't win the challenge, you were going to use your timeout anyway. The video coaches are right here next to us, and they must have seen something at least worth distracting the referees with.
I hate challenges like this, in large part because I have no idea what they're looking at, because this could be in any passage of open play, and they're not showing a replay, so nobody knows.
We've got the referees right down below us.
Yeah, that's too far away. There's a hit that they're looking at, but I don't know what it is.
They've taken the headset off very quickly.
That means it's no penalty.
I doubt there is anything there, but they tossed it out anyway. Nerato's got the whiteboard out. No penalty on the play, and the crowd is a little riled up, but regardless, they were going to use the timeout anyway, and Nerato's been drawing something up.
Yeah, I can't assess whether
we never
it's
saw
right
it
because we never saw it. The fact that they didn't call anything on the ice, usually they're pretty good at spotting major caliber hits. So, the fact that they didn't call it on the ice probably means there wasn't anything there.
3:21 to go. Michigan loses that faceoff. Wisconsin tries to clear it out, and they do. Pass far side for Carson Banel just across the center line. Didn't get much on it. Hughes pass now up to Brindley, and it goes into the zone. Oh, they call an icing. I don't know about that one.
I don't like that. That's
3:05 remaining. It looked like Moyle was there.
Yeah, I think that's a wrong icing call, but for the most part, they've called a good game so far. So, and again, the challenge is unchanged. Just win the faceoff, and you can really control these last 3 minutes, and you can get set for when you pull the goalie and you go a man up.
Fantilli does win that draw for Michigan. Keaton Pearson back to Hughes. Whiffed on the first pass, then connects on the second. Brindley up for Fantilli. They go into the opposite corner. Moyle after it. Far side, Sam Stang wins possession, turns it over. Fantilli had it poke check, though. Brindley there. Hughes into the corner. Michigan, 2:45 remaining. Fantilli battling behind the net. Tries to wrap it around. Brindley there! Oh, it hit the crossbar!
That didn't go in?
2:35 remaining, and now Wisconsin the other way. Gorniak gets chopped down. Michigan will have to think about a goalie pull shortly. A perfect pass from Fantilli in front, and Brindley ripped it off the crossbar. Moyle puts it into the corner. That was the look Michigan wanted. TJ Hughes gets it off the retrieval. Now it's far side. Casey drags it in. Whiffs on the shot. Rebound! And nobody home after his second chance.
I didn't hear the crossbar ring.
It was very close. Casey over to Samoskevich. That one trying to get it into the zone. D. St. Phal takes it away, banks it off the boards. Lucius there sends it in the corner. You almost wonder if Michigan should even pull the goalie because they're getting looks right now. And Wisconsin's so eager to counterattack. 1:48, and that one intercepted. Badgers come the other way. Banel knocked by Casey. Edwards there tipped around. TJ Hughes out with it. TJ Hughes pass looking for Estapa into the corner. He's there to try and win possession. He gets chopped down hard. Hughes pinches on an intercept. We've got the goalie pulled, 6-on-5. Brindley with it. Brindley skates into the middle. Going to try and tee up Samoskevich. Now over far side. Fantilli shoots. He scores! 5-all with 1:15 to go. We've got dueling hat tricks tonight, Mr. Hornberg.
Well, it didn't matter. I'm still not convinced that Brindley's shot didn't go in. But ultimately, it does not matter. Fantilli's got the hat trick to answer, and it's the same spot.
Yep.
Now, he controls it that time. That's not a one-timer, but he scored 3 hat tricks from places on the ice within about 10 feet of each other if you adjust for opposites. What they just said? Oh, Wisconsin's challenging. Wisconsin's challenging too many men.
There might have been too many men. Let's take a look at it.
I still want to see a review of Brindley's shot. It sounds crazy, but I have seen it happen at Yost before where you take it, where the puck goes off the back bar of the goal and the net doesn't ripple and it looks like it hit the crossbar.
It did look like they had 6 before the goalie was pulled.
It's another one they're not showing it on the replay, on the board, so I can't see. And I can't really see. I've seen goals called back for too many men, so this isn't a ridiculous premise. I can't tell. Just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here, we are staring at a computer screen looked at by 3 officials that is about 50 feet directly below us. So we have absolutely no idea. And the officials are conferring.
They're discussing.
The more they talk about it, the more you think that it's too many men. The conventions of reviews in hockey are pretty similar to football, where if it's a long time and they're talking about it, chances are the call on the ice is getting overturned.
One referee exits the booth. The other 2 are still in there. We will notify you when we know.
I wish radio had a telestrator and the ability to rewind plays, because I would very much like to count.
The Michigan video coaches don't appear to know themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is the way some of these reviews go on, nobody ever knows. But are they even looking at too many men?
You have to look at so many angles to even get a sense of what you would be looking at. Too many men is not challengeable in the NHL, I don't believe.
No, and the crowd is getting restless, and I'm with them on this one. If it takes this long, you don't have indisputable evidence. Because the fact is, they've now been looking at this for a solid 3 minutes.
No one really seems to know, and we are just waiting and waiting and waiting some more.
I still want them to look at Brindley's shot.
5-5 is the score, and now here come the referees.
This is about to get ugly if they rule it out.
Here, let's see what they say. And they say there was too many men on the ice. I thought that's what it was live, but
yeah, I didn't see it. It could be right. And they're going to take the face-off. They're going to move it out.
They're going to move it out, but there's still 75 seconds to go.
I always find it funny that when they rule goals out for too many men, they don't call a penalty on the offending team.
Yep.
It's the same thing for when they rule goals out for goalie interference.
Puck goes into the far corner. Michigan trying to win possession.
Portillo's
Pinballs around.
Portillo's
flipped
gone.
Up and out. Samoskevich after it. 65 seconds remaining. Last minute of play. Up to Brindley. They're in on sides. Brindley pass across. Pass! Oh, and they almost had it there.
They took one too many.
Good look. McGroarty. 50 seconds left. Into the slot. Brindley there. Takes the shot save. Rebound for Luke Hughes. Into the slot. Nobody could get a shot away. Hughes had it for a moment. Did too much with it. Nazar passed between his legs into the slot. Now Hughes back with it. 35 seconds. You just need one look. Fantilli at the point. Now to Hughes. Now across far side. Samoskevich there. Takes the shot. Tipped around. And it goes in! Are you kidding me? 24 seconds left. And we're tied at 5.
Well, they're not going to call that one out for too many men. That is just I mean, all of Michigan goals this game, even the ones that got ruled out, have been what I would call extremely well worked. That one's a pinball.
It's a shot into traffic, tipped around Rutger. I think it goes off his skate.
It's an own goal.
No, was it off Wisconsin's skate?
It's an own goal. I think that's Mackie Samaskevich's goal. No, actually, they are giving it to Rutger McGroarty.
Now Nolan Moyle battling with Malmquist. 19 seconds left until overtime. Tipped into the zone. Moyle after it. Held in. TJ Hughes finds a stopper there. Bullied off the puck. Turned around with it. 10 seconds remaining. Flipped up off of Ethan Edwards. Now around to
They've got time for a shot.
TJ Hughes comes in, hands it to Moyle. 2 seconds, one. Moyle comes in, tight on the net, and it's tipped up in the air. I don't think it would have counted.
It wouldn't have counted. It wouldn't have counted.
We're tied at 5 and headed to overtime.
Well, the crowd here, as sparse as it is, getting their money's worth tonight. Again, another period where Wisconsin was pretty emphatically the better team. But Michigan, after a couple almost goals, again, I think Brindley's shot might have gone in, but then the Fantilli goal that gets ruled out for too many men, and then a pinball goal that honestly Michigan did deserve with some of the looks they got in the last 2 minutes or so. I mean, this is the Big Ten for the first round's delivering, I'll tell you that.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be ready to break it down in about 5 or 7 minutes. We're back a little bit earlier, about 7 minutes till puck drop on the overtime session, but we're going to recap a little bit of what's been going on in a 5-5 game headed to overtime. Game 1 of the Big Ten Tournament Quarterfinals between the number 2 seed Michigan and number 7 seed Wisconsin. I'm Alex Strain, joined by Nick Hornberg, and it has been quite a game.
Yeah, so the first period, Michigan gets an early quick goal from Mackie Samoskevich, kind of a fluke goal in the middle of a line change. But then after that, the period was all Wisconsin. Wisconsin, the better team in the first period, took a 2-1 lead into the intermission. They come into the second. Michigan finally asserts themselves into the game. Couple goals teed up on very similar plays, particularly feeding Adam Fantilli at the right circle. Seamus Casey also picked a goal from a play like that. They were in control of the game, but then what could have been a period-changing major penalty assessed to Dylan Duke for a high hit. Wisconsin ties it up. Michigan, in the dying seconds of the second, takes a lead. Wisconsin, once again, is the better team in the third period and scores 2 goals in rapid succession, 19 seconds apart, actually, and including Matthew D. St. Fowl securing a hat trick. And Michigan grew into the third period, got some good chances with the goalie out. Adam Fantilli scored a beauty for a hat trick, but then it got called out for too many men on the ice. Tony Granato burned his challenge, and it was successful. But then with the net empty again.
Legally.
Yep, yeah, with the net empty again, Michigan kind of just threw it. Mackie Samoskevich threw it at the players in front, hoping to get a stick on it, but ultimately Wisconsin scoring an own goal there. They initially assessed the goal to Rutger McGroarty, but they looked at it. He did not touch it in any capacity, so it was Mackie Samoskevich's goal. 5-on-5. That was with, I think, 19 seconds left. 23 seconds left. And now here we are playing a period of overtime.
Yeah, a very, very wild goal. I was conferring with other people in the press box, and they confirmed that my suspicion was true when I said I saw it on the ice. Michigan's 6th skater went on the ice probably 5 to 10 seconds before Portillo made it to the bench. A really brutal coaching error there, and letting the 6th skater go on before the goalie was even close to the bench. That was what nullified the goal. They got the call right, but Michigan got it done anyway on second attempt.
It's funny, I've actually seen that exact same thing happen in this series before. 2018-19, the last regular season series, the last series of that regular season was Michigan at the Kohl Center. Both teams playing with hosting regionals on the line.
I remember
Wisconsin scored in overtime I think it was the last game. It was the very last day of the regular season. Wisconsin scored to win, and the goal was called back, and that was before coaches' challenges were a thing in college hockey. The refs looked at it, called it out for too many men on the ice, but it was a million miles from the play, and I think the goal was already scored.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was the most absurd.
I had forgotten about that.
It was maybe the most absurd goal rule out I've ever seen. Ultimately, it didn't matter because Wisconsin scored 30 seconds later to take the game, but that was absurd. So I've seen it happen before in this series. Some of the things that some of these goals get called out for in college hockey really are ridiculous. But yeah, if there's too many men on the ice at any point, even if it doesn't affect the play, even if it's well behind, that goal does not count.
Quick score check. Ohio State finished off Penn State 5-1 in Columbus to take game 1 of that series, and Notre Dame beats Michigan State 1-0 with Silinov's goal standing. Shot attempts 28-3 MSU in the third period, and Ryan Bischel stands tall. Another just marvelous outing, and the Irish take a 1-0 series lead. MSU down to 20th in pairwise. Their backs are against the wall now. Yeah,
they got to get 2 against Notre Dame and probably win a semifinal to sneak into that tournament. But a great first season for Adam Nightingale for Michigan State. A big bounce back. They have momentum for the first time that I can remember.
One more note before we get going on the intermission, or the overtime rather. Eric Portillo this week traded from the Buffalo Sabres to Los Angeles Kings, who hold his draft rights. It was known that Portillo was not going to be signing in Buffalo due to really a crowded goalie depth chart in the minor league system. So he has been found a new home where he will presumably be signing probably after the season, but could come back for a 4th year. You never know. Something to chew on. In about 90 seconds to puck drop. The teams are just about to come back out onto the ice.
Yeah, the trade was a good one for the Sabres because Buffalo really is kind of saturated with goalie talent. They've got good young goalies in the NHL right now, and they've got Devon Levi.
At Northeastern,
Yep, at Northeastern, who people have been saying the entire season is going to win the best goalie of the year. I think he's the goalie of the year. I think Ryan Bichelle has a case.
I think Bichelle has a good case.
I mean, Ryan Bichelle, he straight stole the final game of the regular season for Notre Dame against Michigan. It was a phenomenal performance by Notre Dame's goaltender because Michigan played one of their best offensive games of the year, and Bichelle was just so good. And, again, he stole another one tonight.
And Portillo, he just didn't want to be in such a crowded room with Levi and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen on the Sabres roster. So, anyway, good for him. Teams are now back out onto the ice. 40 seconds until puck drop. And we'll see which lines the two teams put out. Michigan in overtime of the Big Ten tournament for the first time since that game we mentioned in 2021 against the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Yeah, and in that year, Michigan's actually on the opposite foot than what they were tonight. They were defending a lead in that game against Minnesota, and Strauss-Mann really came up short. Yeah, he gave up a soft goal on what should have been a routine save. He was the best goalie in the conference that year. It was shocking. And then Minnesota won in overtime. In this one, Michigan's the one chasing. They put in just an incomprehensible goal to force overtime, but it should note for Michigan. Michigan's best period this game has been the second period, the long change period.
Yep.
And the goalies are on that side. This is a long change overtime period.
As it always is. Adam Fantilli against Owen Lindmark to do the draw, and Lindmark wins it back. And we are off and running here in overtime. Puck played in behind the Michigan end. Luke Hughes after it. Just pokes it up along the wall. Flipped up into the air, Carson Bannell. Now Keaton Pearson in the corner, walled off by Bannell, but then wins possession. Pearson gets it right back. Just a quick touch pass for Fantilli. They break out. Hughes going to drive transition play into the offensive zone. McGroarty and pass across. There's a shot, and what a block there by Daniel Latch.
McClellan was caught out. That goal would have gone in.
Yep. Luke Hughes down the wall.
That's a game saver by Daniel Latch.
Towards the goal line. Edwards rims it around back to Hughes, far side, just tipped it to Fantilli. Fantilli draws in the circle, feathers it in front, and Rucker McGroarty camped out in the slot, couldn't get a shot away. Ethan Edwards over to Samoskevich inside the blue line, fumbles off his stick, gets it back. Pass to the circle, Moyle there, takes a shot, knocked down in front, and it was Latch again blocking a shot.
Well,
he flips it up the ice and down. It's off a Michigan body, so no icing. Hard forecheck from Sam Stang. Ethan Edwards rims it around the wall and up. Samoskevich just knifes it ahead, and here comes Nolan Moyle in. Moyle cuts in, takes a shot, saved by McClellan. TJ Hughes, Samoskevich, shot deflects wide. Holtz fills at the far side, picks it up. Karen in there, takes the shot wide. Moyle on the doorstep. And a good, hard defensive play by Corson Ceulemans to wall him off. Wisconsin's not out of the zone, though. And great forechecking work from TJ Hughes on Ceulemans, just harassing him. Wisconsin still hasn't exited. Gorniak just gets it past the blue line.
They get out of the
Halem
zone,
shoots it in.
But they will change now because Michigan was caught changing too.
Michigan's had good energy here in the first 2 minutes. They've come out ready to play. Granowitz taps this one back into his own end. Michigan handles it. Nazer passed just a little too far in front of him, and now the puck goes the other direction. Strammel after it. Holtz in the corner. Holtz walls him off there with Jay Karanen. Rims it backwards. Now pass through the crease. There was a man on the far side. Didn't get it to him. Now that one comes in on Portillo. He nudges it aside. Strammel down the wall. Pass to the center area. Knocked down. Vorlicki picks it up. Shot comes in. Loose in front of the net. Granowitz picks it up. Banks it off the boards and out. Michigan in a little bit of trouble here. Now Vorlicki dangles in. Vorlicki walks around Holtz. Now decides to rim around behind the net as well. Instead, pass to the point. Dexheimer takes a shot, deflects off sticks, and out of play, and Michigan needed that faceoff.
Yeah, Michigan needed that play to stop. They had to get their skaters off the ice. This is overtime. It's a one-goal game. That's why Michigan came out so aggressive. They thought they could really bury Wisconsin early, and they almost did. They had some great chances, but a little gassed there as they're putting a new 5 out there.
Shots are 40-30 in favor of the Badgers. Defensive zone face-off, Fantilli, and he wins it back. Keaton Person to Luke Hughes. Hughes with a pretty tough giveaway to lead to that 5th goal for the Badgers. Wisconsin chips it deep and goes for a wholesale change. Person across to Hughes as they break it out. Now stretch pass up, finds Gavin Brindley down the wall. Brindley gets possession and then knocked off his stick blade.
Daniel Latch again coming up big defensively.
McGroarty in the corner. McGroarty walled off by Latch. To it is Lindmark working hard defensively, and then he threw it right in front of his own net. Brindley there, but just couldn't get enough on it. Now pass far side, intercepted by Wisconsin. Chipped ahead, Luke Hughes plays it away. Person up for Brindley, didn't find him. Little ragged play right now, but both teams can really feel that chance to try to put the game away. Here's a shot coming down the wing and a save by Portillo on Jack Gorniak.
And the applause there, this is the dynamic of overtime, where basically every slap shot, bounce, weird play could very much spell the end of the game.
Yep.
And every heads-up play, like the block shot by Daniel Latch, the stick check by Daniel Latch, that save by Portillo is a game saver. Jake Karanen had a block too. Game saver.
16:23 remaining. Michigan wins that faceoff and they come out the other way 2-on-2. Norland Moyle slashing into the zone, takes a shot off McClellan and out of play. And now Michigan gets an offensive zone faceoff.
Yeah, that was a deflected puck that was going to go out of bounds, or that went up and out of play. There might have been a pass there. That's great open ice defense by Wisconsin to fall back.
16:16 remaining. TJ Hughes to do the faceoff. We're in overtime, 5-5 the score. Coolemans tries to chip it out. That one hops over Casey's stick. Edwards down after it, and it will be an icing. We'll do the faceoff again in the Wisconsin end, 16:09.
Yeah, 4 minutes of overtime gone. Definitely can't say these teams are playing scared.
Nope. Gavin Brindley to do the faceoff. Fantilli to his right, McGroarty on his left. Against Lindmark, puck tipped around, and Wisconsin's to it. They're going to break out. You got Keaton Pearson watching. Luke Hughes chases after the puck after Sam Stang chips it in. Wisconsin goes for a change upon 2 icings. Now Hughes will lead the entry. Takes a slap shot that blasts off of a Wisconsin body in front of McClellan. An aggressive pinch there from Brindley on a very dangerous play with Carson Bannell coming up the wall. Now again, McGroarty holds that puck in. Brindley's got it in on sides. Here's Hughes. McGroarty shot, save. Rebound, Fantilli far side. He just couldn't collect it.
Well, that's one. That's also not getting right on the tape of his stick either, so even if he does corral it, that's not a shot that's going to end the game.
Wisconsin had a bouncing puck evade them for permanent possession. Portillo there leaves it for Luke Hughes. Across to Person, now up to Mackie Samoskevich. Samoskevich weaves his way through the center ice area into the offensive zone. Pass knocked off his stick, and now finally Wisconsin takes it away with possession. Cruz Lucius for Vorlicki. Moyle knocks it off his stick. Moyle falls down to one knee. Pass across Samoskevich, and he put it wide. Kind of abbreviated 2-on-1 or 3-on-2 of sorts there for the Wolverines. Now Wisconsin counterattacking. D. St. Phal knocks it off a stick blade. Michigan going the other way with speed. Here comes Estapa into the slot. Taking a shot is Steve Holtz jumping up on the play. And McClellan makes the stop. Karanen holds the line. Rims around far side. Ethan Edwards going to pinch in fresh off the bench. Edwards down to Estapa below the goal line. Centering pass for TJ Hughes. Didn't find him. But now it's on Halem. Here's a shot! And Hughes rips it high and over top. Casey banks it off the wall. Nazar far side looking for Hughes. TJ Hughes there on the half wall. To the point and across. Casey with it. Casey going to shimmy his way around D. St. Phal. Casey cuts in, tries the wraparound, tries to push it in front, and it was pushed aside. Michigan retains possession, though. Headed off was TJ Hughes. Michigan changing on the fly. Granowitz fresh off the bench, keeps the play alive. Down behind the goal line, Marcus Stapa. battling there, but taken off his stick blade and out. Wisconsin plays it deep. That is not going to get them a change as it's an icing. Some tired legs out there for the Badgers. Narado is going to put his top guys out there and try and sink his teeth in.
I was a little surprised they didn't put out the top line one shift earlier when they had, so they do the pullback, and then it
looks like Wisconsin's using their timeout.
Yep, and it's Nick Granowitz coming out onto the ice. A little shocked that they didn't send out Adam Fantilli and start getting the top line out there because Wisconsin really was on their heels.
So 45 seconds in this timeout.
And, of course, in overtime, you get one timeout per overtime period. And because you're never in a situation where you're going to have to defend a lead or try and chase a lead because it's sudden death, one goal ends the game, icings like this are a situation where you call your timeout.
A good call by Granado and Narado in the other bench. The coach's names rhyme tonight.
Yeah, they do. Two very different scenarios, though. Tony Granado, a veteran of the hockey community, was a captain at Wisconsin in the 90s, was coached with Team USA for a while before becoming the Badgers head coach. Narado played at Michigan about 15 years ago, was a blogger, then worked for the Red Wings, and now he's the head coach of Michigan.
Here we go. 13:50 remaining in overtime. Offensive zone draw for Michigan. Lindmark against Brindley. Brindley wins it back. To the point. Keaton Pearson hands it to Fantilli. His shot deflects. Dangerous play there. Brindley gets back to it. He waits to get set up. Trying to find Fantilli there. Takes a shot. Tipped up. Oh, and Fantilli batted it out of the air. And almost in, but it went off McClellan's pad. Hughes collects it in the neutral zone. Pass around. Brindley just got lit up there by LeMaster. But that's a clean hit. Crowd is a little riled up, but just got him right in the chest.
It is a clean hit, but that hit to Brindley put him right in the way of Fantilli. If Brindley isn't there, Fantilli's rushing right onto the puck, and he's all alone against McClellan.
And Rucker hammers down Corson Koulemans as he comes in. Finds Fantilli. Oh, he had Edwards sneaking down the slot. Didn't find him. Puck hops over a stick blade. Casey skates around with it. Casey cuts to the middle. Takes a shot over the catching glove of Kyle McClellan. Sam Stang banks it off the boards. Down the ice. Not far enough for an icing. 12:50 remaining in the first overtime session. Ethan Edwards is on the puck. Passes it to Nick Granowitz. Granowitz comes in. He's out there with Samoskevich. Retrieves the dump in. Moyle's out there as well. Hard charge into the corner. Wisconsin back to it, though. And Koulemans flips it down the ice. Ooh, that was possible interference from Hallam.
That was
a hit on a play, not a player playing the puck. Edwards over to Samoskevich. They enter the zone. Down into the faceoff dot. Samoskevich wheels around, has it taken off his stick blade. Potential rush the other way. Hallam is out of gas. Erdahl comes in, shoots high and over top of the net. Now far side. Verlicki wiggles down the wall. Watched by Luke Hughes, who falls over. Vorlicki and Wisconsin gets set up, one of their first looks. Peck comes in on Portillo. 2 saves, trying to freeze it, and he gets control. 11:56 to go.
Well, Hallam got away with an interference penalty right there, but in overtime, those calls that would be 100%ers during regulation, officials typically do not call. They want to keep the game at even strength as much as possible, but great work by Wisconsin really to get back in this one. Michigan was on the front foot for an extended stretch.
Shots now 43-34. Wisconsin 5-5 game. 11:56 to go in the overtime session. Istapa to do the draw, and he wins it back from Strammel. Hughes chips it up the wall, but not out. Held in Lucius. Now puck goes in front. Keaton Pearson chips it off Istapa. Now here goes Michigan the other way. 2-on-2 rush. Nazar slicing in. Nazar on the far wing side, and Wisconsin back checks well to slow it down. Michigan gains possession and sets it up. In the corner, TJ Hughes. TJ Hughes rubbed off the puck there. Tries to get possession of it back. Now it's Nazar. Nazar shot. Tipped around in front. Loose puck. Badgers to it. Flip it down the ice. Will it be far enough for an icing? Yes, it will.
Barely.
11:20 remaining.
Cruz Lucius gave that one a good chase, but ultimately they're going to get icing. What's impressed me most about Michigan is so far in this period, more so than any other period in regulation and overtime, they've been able to hold the zone a lot better. That's caused them a lot better chances they've honestly been the better team so far in overtime.
They definitely have. Holtz with it as Michigan wins possession. Takes a shot. Oh, it got deflected and almost fooled McClellan as it really changed velocity there. Fantilli with it. In on sides. Brindley to it. Brindley slicing around. Gets a little bit of a pick there and takes a shot that goes wide of the net. Karen in far side rims it around behind. Rucker McGroarty behind the net. Goes to the point. Steve Holtz there. Takes the shot. He scores! Steve Holtz from the point. 6-5 Michigan. And we're going home.
Some of the shots that Michigan has gotten off in this game, including that Brindley shot from 15 seconds ago, have been positively absurd. Some of the skill on these, and Holtz just launches it. It is a hard shot, but it's a wrister, and it's dead straight. That is a fastball right down the middle of the plate, and the goalie missed it.
Yeah, it's a high one, and the Michigan bench is emptied. They're going crazy right in front of the children of Yost, and those that braved the blizzard here tonight are very much enjoying this one. The Wisconsin players are headed off the ice into the locker room, and they gave it their all. Seemed like they were going to pull off a stunning victory to assert themselves in this series, and instead it goes the other way, and you got to wonder how much they'll have in the tank tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, you could ask that of both teams, and I'll tell you what, that last goal could not have happened to a better person for the story. Steve Holtz came in as an overager, stayed the maximum number of years, could have gone anywhere else, but instead he went to Michigan, and he waited his turn. He's played, and of course it's been written about plenty of times in the college hockey community. In November, the RSV outbreak that hit Michigan's team that almost caused them to not be able to play a series against Minnesota. Steve Holtz got it most severely. He was in ICU. Dude almost died. And there he is scoring an overtime goal to give Michigan a commanding position in this quarterfinal.
Just a truly incredible game. Not much else you can say about that. Michigan 6, Wisconsin 5. Final shots 43-36 in favor of the Badgers, but it wasn't enough. Michigan led 1-0, 3-2, 4-3, then trailed 5-4, scored with 23 seconds left to tie it at 5 after having the earlier tying goal waved off for too many men, and then at 10:54 10:54 remaining, right? Yeah, remaining in that they're doing it opposite of NHL entering here on Stat Broadcast. Steve Holtz wins it with 10:54 remaining in the overtime session. Assists to McGroarty and Karanen.
And now Michigan's going to go in Saturday night. Both teams are going to have to manage their energy. Now, Michigan will have a fresh Dylan Duke tomorrow. He played about a period and a half of hockey tonight. But this is one where you hope that depth wins out because both teams are going to be very tired tomorrow. I expect tomorrow will be a much more sedate affair, although Wisconsin will be fighting for their lives here. So it will be interesting to say. It's hard to say, but I'll tell you what, for a Big Ten quarterfinal, that delivered.
Yeah, well, we talked about these quarterfinals being much more interesting this year, and two very close games tonight, one here and one in South Bend where Notre Dame edged out Michigan State. The Irish, Buckeyes, and Wolverines, the three home teams, will all go into Saturday up 1-0 in their series, but I can imagine at least one of those is going to go to Sunday.
Yeah, I have a feeling at least one is going to go to Sunday. And look, with the fight Wisconsin showed tonight, unless they're completely out of gas and they spent it all tonight, could be this one.
And that just about does it for us tonight. It was quite a game. Not much else you can say about that. Been a little while since we were on the mic, but it was a pleasure tonight.
Yeah, it was a good one. We come back. We're good for one a year.
You got everything you could want in one game here tonight. The call will be on WCBN Sports again tomorrow night. Game 2, it'll be a different crew, but want to thank you for joining us here tonight. Always a fun time behind the mic at Yost Ice Arena. One final time for Alex Drain and Nick Hornberg. Final score, Michigan 6, Wisconsin 5 in overtime. Good night, and go blue.